he had just opened a barbershop right before. Well, the week before is when he joined my business. The next week he got his own barbershop, which caused him to basically just. I mean, he had his dream. His dream wasn't to be a network marketer. His dream was to have his own barbershop. And once he got that, nothing else mattered. So he completely, like, a week prior to it, he was a little bit in there. He was doing videos with me. He was going to put on 10 pounds of lean muscle. I was going to lose 10 pounds. And we were all excited. Then the next week he closed on his barbershop and everything else just went out the door.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, sometimes, there's something called the target market, and you have to really identify who's in your target market for your business to grow. But we'll talk about that later. Okay? All right, so it says here, you need to find a new edge in your business, and you've been following us for about 2 weeks now. So what is that edge that you're looking for?
Well, I realize that there are people out there that I refuse to believe that I'm the only one in this town who has dreams. I just haven't found those people yet. Everybody has an excuse why they can't invest $4.99, but then turn around and buy a $200 pair of gym shoes, which So I just need to reach out. I think what I'm going to have to do is go outside of my market, create what needs to be created to build up, and worry about. I'm not really worried about them because it is my community. I do want to do for my community. I do want to help, like the program Visalis has to give back to the kids, the healthy meals, and that's something that I really want to implement throughout the churches, the boys and girl programs throughout my community. That's something I really want to do, but at the same time, business-wise, it's like you guys said, the ones closest to you in your area might not be the ones. But I do want to have a close enough relationship to build with people to help the people around. But in order to get it started, to reach that next level, to reach my next rank, I just realized I need to go to a different market, a cold market, or try to pull in some people that want to do the work, or people who have a mindset similar to mine, as opposed to this, because this is what we call a small-minded community. Everything, they think that nothing is, whereas you go to places like Florida and Texas, and they have a bigger belief. Not saying that they don't have negative people, but they have a bigger belief in trying things. This town is small and doesn't have any belief in it. So.
Okay. Actually, when you talk about your area, right? I think you can actually, right? You can still do it. You can actually get people from your area, right? The problem is that the reason why a lot of people have a difficult time with people, and people will say, hey, well, what are you selling? And you try to explain it to them, they're like, oh, no, I don't want to do that, right? The moment someone ever asks you that question, or they're asking those types of questions, simply because they're not targeted people, right? You see, what happens is that you want to develop a list. You want to develop a prospect list through the internet that's responsive to when you ask them questions, that's responsive to some of the things that they may be having in their life, right? So the real answer to that, to get people to get into your business, is basically problem solving, right? Solving their problems, right? Because that's what when you do targeted marketing, which is what you're looking to do, right? Which is obviously build your list outside of your family, outside of your friends, because all of them kind of think it's a scam or whatever the case is, right? It has to really do with target marketing, which is solving a problem in the marketplace, right? If you think about it, right, the reason why people open up our emails, the reason why you decided to get in, right, even that, and the reason why we had a ton of people respond to the email that we sent out yesterday, which is, hey, we love you, special message to you, right, and we were just kind of explaining to you what we said, right, it's because they're responsive. Why are they responsive, right? If you think about it, why are people opening up our emails, is it because we're slamming them with an opportunity? No, because if we were, they would just not respond at all, right? People were like, oh, I don't want that, right? But the only reason why people respond in the responsive, they open their emails, right, and they ended up they get into with our coaching program, is because they have a problem they just can't solve, right, with themselves, and it's so painful to them that they rather go out there and find a solution for it, right? And the reason why people get in and the reason why people open our emails is because of that right reason. It's the reason why you got in, right? You got in because you had a problem, right? And we can solve your problem. And you have to start asking yourself, people in Visalis, people who you want to bring into your business, you have to figure out who your prospect is. You have to figure out the target market that you're going after, and you need to figure out what their problems are. And then when you start solving their problems, I can promise you, right, that they'll be responsive. They'll never ask you the question of what are you selling? No, they're not going to ask you that question. And they're going to be a lot cooler. They're going to be so cool, and they're going to be open to hearing what you want to say, because now you're coming as somebody, you're coming from an angle of solving problems rather than coming from an angle of get into my deal, you know. So do you get the difference, or what's up?
Yeah, I understand.
Cool. It's quite simple, actually. A lot of people try to complicate it sometimes.
All right, so what was the deciding factor that made you say, you know what, I'm in?
I guess right now what I'm doing it isn't working as I wanted it to. I went, like I said, I'm in my team personally. Bring the heat. I'm one of the higher. As far as PQB, I'm one of the top in my team. One of the top. For the last, prior to the last 3 months, the last 4 months, I was ranked either number 1 or number 2. So that was a high point. But now, you know, people are falling off. People not staying committed to the challenge or whatever the case may be. Saying they can't afford it, jumping out. All my promoters, I did have a promoter who came in from my area. I didn't personally know her, but she was from my area. She came in with a motivation, and just one day she texted me and said that she's no longer part of this team. Well, as long as you're in, you're part of this team. But she decided that, because she came in, she brought her husband in. They both came in as promoters, but neither one of them are doing, as I look at my back office, neither one of them are actively doing anything. Very little. So I needed to, I realized that there's an opposite way to go out there, and that's the way I'm trying to go, is to go and find people that are looking for me as opposed to looking for people. Instead of waiting for people to come to me, I mean, for me to go to, actually me stalking people is how I feel about it. I want.
Were you on the training we did on Saturday, the Hunted?
No. Saturday, I think I started. It was a training you guys started. I think it might have been Saturday, and I did start.
Thursday was the first part. Saturday was part 2, where we talked about being hunted. How you want people to chase you rather than you chasing people.
Uh-huh.
Did you see that one?
No, I didn't. I started one of them one day, but I was doing 5 different things at the same time, so I actually left it running and I walked away. So when I came back, it was over, of course. But yeah, I started one training with you guys one day. And on the computer I was on, it doesn't have a camera. It doesn't have very many. I'm on my Mac now in my bedroom, but I have another computer in the back and have a home office. It doesn't have any. It has 2 screens. It doesn't have the bells and whistles of the camera and all the neat things.
Dude, that training was specifically on that. It was talking about how do you get people to desperately chase you to join you. And that as network marketers, you may feel like you're annoying, you're stalking, you're bothered, you're pitchy, you're salesy, you're this person that everyone just wants to run away from. And the reason why that happens is because when you first join network marketing, you're taught to talk about the company, the products, the CEO, the comp plan, right? You're taught to talk about all these things that honestly no one cares about. No one cares about. See, what people care about is not the company or the products. They care about what the products can potentially do for them, what the company can potentially do for them. So if you talk about your business in a way that it solves or can get them whatever it is that they want, then you become hunted. And then this Thursday, we're going to be talking about how do you close those people. When people actually chase you and say, Marlo, I saw your video, I saw your blog, I saw this, and what do? Give me the link, I'm in. How do you close them at that point? So we're going to be talking about that on Thursday. But what you're looking for is exactly what we're going to be teaching, is what we teach. And we want to help you implement it, but you have to get past certain mental barriers, which we're going to talk about later, okay? All right, so it says here that you're looking to make at least $10,000 a month, which is awesome. Now, is that an immediate goal, or how close do you see yourself making that?
I know that's not a super immediate goal. I know immediate goal I would like it to be anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 a month on the immediate side, but eventually, you know, maybe by March of next year into 10, and eventually even more than that. There are some people in this company that are doing that and better. And I want to speak just a little bit on the teaching side of when you said talk about the product and the things. I have to say, if it's one thing that my upline does, it teaches us to talk about, and actually the company-wide, to care about people. Just to, you know, in general, you know, the product is there, but we're more focused on people and what we can do to help people, not the product. I mean, I look at this a long time ago. I had a training with a guy that's a millionaire, my upline, one of his friends, and he said, we're not selling weight loss pills or potions. We're selling an opportunity for people to live out their dreams. That's it. So that's kind of been the model that I've kind of lived after, whether their dream is to be healthier or to be wealthier. That's how I think with this whole thing. So I have had it. Do I do it wrong sometimes when I approach some people? Sometimes I might have a little bit different approach because you get desperate at times and you just be like, hey, come on, join me. And sometimes, you know, you could be a little overbearing. But in most cases, I try to keep I just try to live out my challenge. And people are seeing what I'm doing and watching me and seeing me continue to shrink. As once being a 500-pound man, they're motivated to do better, or, you know, I have a lot of people watching me. The eyes are on me. So I just feel like if I just continue to live it out and not always force the challenge or talk about the challenge all the time, I can really do this. And I know it's a time process, but when you're, you know, married and your wife is doing most of the income and you're not, it's different when you were doing all the income and she wasn't. It's okay for that, but when it's opposite on the man, for one, it makes me feel, you know, in a way I'm okay with it, because I'm like, all the years I took care of a majority of the things, so telling me that, you know, she take care of things now doesn't really hurt me. She can get mad if she won't, but for years I did it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
That makes sense.
Cool.
That makes
a lot of sense. So real quick, going back to the immediate goal, right? You said you want to make $3,000 to $4,000 per month, right? Let's get real specific, right? Do you want to make $3,000 or do you want to make $4,000 a month?
Let's always shoot for the big one, 4.
Okay, so we'll go for $4,000 a month, right? Now I have a quick question for you, right? Now, when you hit this immediate goal, right, what is that going to do for you right now that kind of has a lot of pressure on you, a lot of things that are just behind your head, just talking to you, and just, you know, what is that going to do for you as far as kind of releasing some pressure? Can you be specific?
It would get my wife off my back.
Okay.
I mean, literally, it would give some pressure, relieve some pressure off of her doing everything, because right now she is doing everything. I'm not going to take that from her. And she feels like every payday is her responsibility and things have to be paid by her. So I don't want her to have to feel like that, and I don't want her to be the only one
right
to do that. I want to help. So that would give me enough to, you know, be able to have some freedom, do some things with our daughter on the weekends or whatever the case may be. It's really, I mean, we do things, but it's limited. It's not as big as I would like for it to be. Like maybe go to Chicago, and I'm only 30 minutes south of Chicago. A lot of my entire team, most of my team is in Chicago. But my actual team came out of Florida. One by the name of Ginger Jonas came to Chicago and got another girl started here, which is my ambassador here.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool stuff. All right, cool. So let me just get this straight real quick, right? You know, so the real reason why you want to make $4,000, right, Marlowe, is simply because you want to kind of you kind of want to get your wife off your back, right? And I know exactly how you feel. As a matter of fact, you know, just 12 months ago when we decided to step out and decided to do this full time, I had a lot of people messaging me. You know, how I had these, you know, people just came out of nowhere, out of the blue, talking about, you know, you're not a real man because, you know, you're not providing for your family. And I know how that can feel. You know, that can be tough. That can be really rough, right? But, you know, one thing that I realized is, you know, it's so funny that people will come at you and call you irresponsible, right? When I really think that, you know, they're being irresponsible because, if anything, I'm being responsible for the vision that God has given me. I'm being responsible because I'm trying to create a better life because I might be living a little uncomfortable now, but I want to live comfortable for the rest of my life. And when you look at it, people will try to put their noses and stick their faces and try to talk about you, right, about your life, right, not even realizing that by choosing to do that, they're being irresponsible and leaving the vision that they've been given and in place just on the side, on the back burner, right? And you know, something that you mentioned too is that you want to be a provider, right? You want to provide for your family more. And even though you did that majority of your life, you know, I think as a man, I think it's always it's just one of those responsibilities that we want to be able to give. We want to give our love, and sometimes it's restricted by not having the amount of money that we truly want to be able to give, right? And for your daughter who's 12 years old, right? And you know, when you find yourself in that position, right, that can be really tough. You know, that's rough. That's rough because I actually remember when we were really hungry one day, and my wife was trying to lie to me that she wasn't hungry, even though she was hungry, and I kind of looked at myself and I was like, you know, exactly, right. And I was kind of looked at myself and I was like, damn, you know, I can't believe I'm in this position right here, right now. And I kind of just did something crazy. And I remember seeing portraits on the back of the wall, and I just grabbed those portraits. I kind of just decided to march out, and I said, I'm going to sell these portraits. I'm not going to come back till I have food in my hand. And I started going down each house one by one. And as I was going down by each house, all the people were like, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. I was walking around with this big old box, like a cardboard box, kind of torn down with a lot of portraits in it. So I was sticking out like a sore thumb from like several feet ahead. You know, people knew I was trying to sell something. You know, and in the process of doing that, I ended up finding this one lady, right, who she said she didn't want to buy the portraits, but the funny thing is that she actually needed her driveway to be shoveled, right? And I kind of just dropped the portraits, and I said, yes, I'll shovel your driveway, right? And I kind of just went around, running around, and I find the shovel, and when I found the shovel, I started shoveling everything, right? And then all of a sudden, I realized that this lady actually gave me $50, right? And now it was just enough to actually go get some food. And the reason why I share that with you is because sometimes, you know, we make a decision to do something, right? And sometimes it's not until we actually make the real decision in, right? You just got in, right? And even though initially I had gotten out to sell portraits to get money to get some food, on the way there, another opportunity kind of just expanded itself, kind of just right in front of my face, and it still gave me the same outcome that I wanted. It still gave me the same outcome I wanted, right? So my question to you is to be able to get off your wife off your back, right? To be able to provide, you know, and feel worthy as a man because you are worthy, right? Because you are worthy, you know, and to be able to just not have the fun restricted based on, you know, oh, we're having too much fun, so too much fun equals a lot of money. Have no restrictions on that. How important is that for you to be able to accomplish?
To be able to accomplish to have the income to do things.
I mean, to get your wife off your back, right? To be able to provide, right? So she's not the only one putting out the income, because I know it kind of makes you feel some type of way, and to just be able to feel like you can actually, you know, just have more fun with your daughter. I know I talked to you on the phone, and one of the things that you said is that you've been married for 15 years, and you know, it's a little sad. You mentioned that it kind of hurts you a little bit because for 15 years that you've been married, you have never been able to really take your wife to where she really wants to go, because it's usually around the same time that your daughter goes back to school and money's getting dished out there, right? And my question is, how important is that for you to just be able to create an experience and create a moment for your wife, for your family, and provide for them? How important is that for you?
That's very important. I mean, it's not only, I mean, the youngest daughter, she's not the only. It's three other kids, and every year it was something for the other kids, and the others are 22, 20 and 19, and they're all kind of, it's a point where I want to be able to help them get on track with their lives, because I'm 41 years old and not getting it together. I want to help them before they get to that age to make the right decision to do something more positive to better themselves. So, to do something for all of them is very important to me, that I have the opportunity to help guide them in the right direction. And we know people don't always lash on to opportunities as soon as they come. Like with my wife, she actually did I guess you can call it a network marketing thing, sort of the body magic thing, and she got burnt with that real bad. So she has no faith in this, but the compensation plan that was in that was horrible anyway from jump. But she didn't pay attention to that. I mean, that was, you have to sell like 30 garments to make any money at all, and it was a bad experience for her. She had some people do some shady stuff to her. So it's very important. I want to get off subject. It's very important that I do something very special. By the time, and this is one of my visions, by the time we hit 20th anniversary, I want to fly out to an island and charter a plane and take a bunch of friends and actually do it all over again on an island somewhere. I mean, that's how big I'm looking at this.
That's beautiful, and I believe it can be accomplished, right? And even though a lot of people think time isn't running out, and even though people like our age will look at ourselves and say, "Oh, we have all the time in the world," right? In reality, time is running out, right? And the reason why time is running out is because what's happening is, especially when you have kids, right? There's certain moments in their life that you really want to create, and what happens is if you don't create those moments, they'll eventually get older. And as they get older, they'll just miss out because they're not kids anymore, and you can't give them that experience that you truly want to give them, right? And same thing with my wife. If there's just going to come a point, right? If I didn't make that decision in November to just decide to do it, right? Eventually, every anniversary that would have came up, right? She just would have gotten fed up with me and said, "Okay, I'm just not going to believe you anymore. I'm just not going to believe you," right? And what happens is that we all eventually get older and older and older. The funny thing is that even though that happens, sometimes people don't realize how fast time is going. Sometimes they don't realize that even though they think that you have this long period of time to be able to do all these things, you really don't. It's like a time portal that's closing, and every time that you don't make a decision, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right? And the reason why I say that is because we deal with a lot of people, right? And we ask them this question that's super important, and I'm going to ask you that. And the question is, if we tell you exactly what you need to do, right, are you going to do it?
Pros.
Exactly what we tell you to do?
You froze. You can say it again. You can hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the reason why I said that the question is we deal with a lot of people every day, right? And one of the questions that we ask them is, if we tell you exactly what you're going to do, are you going to listen to what we're going to tell you to do? You're going to exactly follow our lead here because we've gotten a certain result and we want to be able to give that to you, or are you kind of just going to do what you wanted to do in the first place?
I think I only did it because I wanted to do something different, and I don't think that doing something different from what you're telling me to do it defeats the purpose. So I want to do exactly what you tell me to do, but I know it's still responsibilities. I have to, like certain calls I have to be on with the company, and I don't want them to. I didn't know if that was going to conflict with.
Okay.
Like last night, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 calls on Monday night. So when I got the call last night a text message about the empowerment thing, I logged in for the first 30 minutes, but after that I had to be on another call.
Which is fine, yeah. We're not telling you that you have to drop what you're doing. What we're saying is that we're telling you to be adding to what you're doing. Are you going to add the things that we're telling you to do, Or are you going to put that on the back burner and say, well, I'm just going to do what I felt like doing in the first place?
Big difference.
No, I'm willing to add what you guys tell me to do.
Okay, cool.
That's all.
You know, yeah, because I mean, you're a real personality, so you just like to hear how it is, right? So you know, so basically, right? You know, you just, you know, this is just no BSing, right? Because we take our time serious. I know you take your time super serious, even though we might look like we're a little young here and there, right? I mean, we're super committed and super serious. And the reason why I say that is because there's people who say they're gonna do it, they do it, and they don't do it. So my question is, are you going to BS us, or are you actually going to do it, right? Because we want to help you out, right? So then you can, whether it's another idea that you come up with, right? We really want to help you out, but the only way we can actually help you out is if you actually take the same footsteps that we've taken, right? So you can get the same results that we've gotten along the way. Is that cool?
Yeah.
You froze again?
Nope. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Perfect. All right, so it says you have 3 to 4 hours a day. You're not working, right?
No.
Okay, so 3 to 4 hours, to be honest, is not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere. The reason why is this, okay? You're familiar with Eric Worre?
Yes.
Okay, so he wrote the book GoPro, right, which is the network marketing professional. He also has a video out on YouTube about the 90-day game plan, and he says that every leader that he's seen have a significant breakthrough in any industry has done it within a 90-day period, a 90-day sprint. And he says that if you are willing to reach your next level, to hit that final breakthrough, you need to do a 90-day sprint at least one time a year, because the big leaders do it, and they don't care how much money they're already making. And he says if you're going to do a 90-day period, right, the best way to do it is 2 ways. The first way is part-time. That's 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for 90 days straight. And the second way is full-time. And that's, I'm sorry, the first way is 8 hours a day, right? The second time is 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, 90 days straight. And what we want you to do is a 90-day sprint, because you are bound consistent. It's terrible. Marlowe, because this, have you ever heard of the story of the 2 frogs?
No. I think you know what? I think I have, but go ahead and tell me anyway. I think my uplines told that story one day on a call.
Okay. Well, it's 2 frogs, right? They're brothers. And they're hopping around, and they say, you know what, let's go far. We've never been past this point. Let's go far. And the brother's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, let's go. Having fun, right? They're going out on their little adventure, having a good old time. They're hopping around, and they end up hopping into a bucket of cream, okay? They get in this bucket, and they're splashing each other. They're swallowing some of the cream. It tastes good. They have no idea what they're in. They're burping, and then by the time they're fed up, they're like, all right, it's time to go home. Let's get out. So they start climbing up the bucket, and Marlowe, they slip down. They slip down. They can't get out because the curve of the bucket doesn't allow them to grip. Plus, they're in cream, so they don't have anything to bounce off of to get out. It was much easier getting in. And so they're like, oh, my goodness, how are we going to get out of here? The one brother says, you know what? Let's just save what dignity we have left and die here looking and facing at our motherland. And the brother says, no, I'm not giving up. Come on, we have to have faith. We have to believe that there's a miracle that can happen here. And the brother says, a miracle? There's no miracles in the life of a frog. And he's like, are you kidding me? Remember when we were tadpoles and we just dreamed of hopping on land? That worked. I'm not giving up. And the brother just looks at the motherland, decides he's going to do nothing, and he drowns. And he dies. And the other brother says, I'm not giving up here. And he starts swimming in circles because it's a bucket. And he just keeps swimming in endless circles, just swimming and swimming, thinking that that is actually going to help him get out. And finally, he's getting tired and tired, Marlowe. His muscles are starting to hurt, but that's not as painful as the words that playing in his mind of his brother saying, there's no miracles in the life of a frog. And so he keeps swimming in these endless circles. finally he stops. But what happens is that he doesn't drown. And he's kind of wondering, why isn't he sinking? He extends his foot out, and he feels something hard. And he's like, what is this? And immediately, two feelings happened. The first one was that he was sad that his brother died. The second one was, dang, he found a way out. So he hops off that solid piece of whatever and jumps out. Come to find that all those spinning circles that he swam churned butter in that bucket of cream. And the moral of that story, Marlowe, is this, is that the problem isn't the actions. It's the people that don't keep doing them. And a lot of people get frustrated for doing the same thing that looks like is bringing about nothing. But every action that you take towards your dream will eventually pay you. Like this moment right here. And this is truly important that you understand, Marlowe. Because if you want to succeed, you need to make a commitment that you're going to do whatever it takes, no matter what, for 90 days completely straight, whether you see results or not. Because if you do that, it is inevitable that your success will happen. You will churn some type of butter, but you can't get tired. Because as you're taking action for the 90 days, you're creating and producing something called an invisible result. And that invisible result will eventually produce a manifested result that will be evident to the rest of the world, like this butter that he churned. If it wasn't for those endless circles of swimming that didn't produce a thing physically, but invisibly was producing something called churning. And then it was evident that butter was produced. But by the time the butter was produced, and a lot of people want just the evidence. The evidence means nothing without the invisible results. And you need to get more excited about those. If you want to win, you need to do this at least part-time or full-time for 90 days straight, 6 days a week, and choose one day out of the week to do absolutely nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So how many hours a day can you commit to growing your business so you can reach a level of success that you are so desperately dying to exceed?
I guess when I say the 3 or 4 hours, I'm kind of downplaying the amount of time because I almost spend my entire day talking or relating or doing something, some type of action, whether or not those are income generated actions all the time, but most of the time, the day I am pretty plugged into my Facebook. People on Facebook, over 5,000 friends following. Well, that's just 5,000 friends, but I have maybe approximately around 700 following me, which
So how
creates.
many hours? Just give me a number.
Oh, I mean, I pretty much do this all day. I mean,
Or 16. 8 or 16.
6.
6 hours.
Yeah, I would say 8. You free?
8.
Yeah.
8 hours a day. 6 days a week. 90 days straight. 8 hours. You can do this, man. And if we're telling you what you need to be doing within those 8 hours, you do them. You do them like your life depended on it. Does that make sense?
My life does depend on it.
Awesome. Good. Good. All right. So it says here that you have 100 to 500 as your initial getting started budget, and you are going to be putting about 200 a month to marketing. Now, what we tell every person in our coaching program is this, that if they want to have a business that'll last them a lifetime, so they can continue to have blood flow, they need to take 20 to 30% of any commission that they make from any business or businesses that they have and put it aside in a separate account for marketing and marketing alone. Not your auto ship, not your overhead, not your subscriptions, marketing. And even if people tell me, well, I don't even have the money to begin with to even put aside. Well, I say it's the habit that we want you to develop. So I don't care if you make $1, you need to take 20 to 30% and put it aside if you're willing to create a business that's going to last you a lifetime. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So now I want you to talk a little bit, but I'm going to read what you have here first, and then I want you to elaborate. It says, describe a day in your ideal lifestyle, and how much money would you like to make? And you said, waking in a nice home with your family, getting up, cooking breakfast for your family in a wonderful kitchen, being able to take your youngest to school every day in one of your luxury cars. After that, going to the gym that you will have part ownership in, working out and steaming on days that you don't want to do it or at home, returning home to give your business 2 to 3 hours of focused work, and then having lunch with your wife. And after lunch, having a nap. That does not always mean sleeping. Then picking up your baby girl from school, and then while your wife is taking her for many after-school things, you can give the business maybe another hour or two. Then before you lay down for the night, dinner and a movie. That's awesome. So now I want you to elaborate at this. I'm going to ask the same question just a little bit differently. If time and money were no longer an issue, how would you live your day? When time and money is no longer an issue for you.
I guess I would wake when I felt like waking. Right now, I try to get up at 5 o'clock every morning so that I can try to get some daily things done prior to starting my day, far as visualization, journaling, just time to myself first of all. But if the time wasn't no longer an issue, then I guess I could do it a little bit later in the evening or have a different space to go along do it. I try to do it before everybody gets up. That's the easiest way to do it. So after that, I mean, I'm kind of stuck with kind of where it is. Maybe doing a little shopping throughout the day. You don't need to shop every day because you can't buy that many things. You ain't got nowhere to put them. Just giving my wife an opportunity to live a better lifestyle. When I did do the thing with the whole drug activity, I kind of lived fancy free, but she wasn't so much included in it. It was me and my friend. Me and him kind of went to lunch every day, took a lunch break from the people that were bothering us for the day, and just want to give her the time and opportunity to have a better lifestyle. Time, just having the time to do it all. I guess being free means just kind of doing whatever I want to do when I want to do it. I really can't. To explain it a little bit deeper, it's I kind of went as deep as I could with the explanation, but I guess there would be some other things that would be thrown in there without the time restrictions.
So yeah, so what we want you to do is think about that. You should do that as one of your visualization exercises, because the more clear you can be as to what it is that you want, then you'll actually be more, it'll be more realistic for you to obtain it. I want you to imagine that. You have to have it in a way where it's like you can actually close your eyes and live that moment. And then when you wake up, you go, dang, I'm getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know what it is, then you don't really know when it arrives. You won't really know
the symptoms
of you actually getting closer to it. Are you on the right track? Do you even want it? You know what I'm saying? You got to get so freaking clear that you know what the room smells like. Is there a breeze when you wake up? What sounds there are? You need to live that moment. I want you to imagine this, okay? I want you to imagine this. If you and I are on a building right here, and there's another building over here, and there's a string that separates both of these buildings, and I say, Marlowe, I'll give you $100,000 if you just walk across that string to the other side and get on that building. And four things are going to come up. Ready? The first thing is, how high are we? The second thing is, how sturdy is this string? The third thing is, how far apart are these two buildings? The fourth thing is she even going to give me $100,000 or is she BSing me? And then the fifth thing would be, am I really willing to risk my life for $100,000? And the answer will probably be no. You probably wouldn't do it. And the reason why is because money means absolutely nothing to anyone. It means nothing. What means is what the money can do for someone. That's what matters most to someone. That's what's more important than the actual money. So now imagine your family, your kids, your wife, your baby girl on the other building. And I say, Marlowe, your whole family is dying. You have 10 minutes to get there, crossing that string. Suddenly, every factor that came into place means absolutely nothing compared to you getting there for your family in time. And you would risk your life. That is the difference between doing whatever it takes, because any challenge you face, whether it be money, whether it be people, whether it be time, whether it be family, are going to seem so small and minuscule compared to the reason why you're going after what you're going for. They'll be so small. And until you're at that point where any challenge means this much compared to the bigger picture, you will win. If you are not at that point yet, there's no point in us teaching you a thing, because your mindset isn't ready to overcome anything. And I say that because we lived it. We thought we were doing whatever it takes until we were 5 months backed up in rent, and the landlord knocked on our door and said, get out. And when they said, get out, we thought that we were doing everything that it took, but now, truly, our lives are extremely on the line. And that was the moment that we did absolutely everything it took, because the pressure was higher. Why does it have to get to that point? What if you can just automatically put that pressure on and say, I am going to frickin' do this no matter what? And you're talking to people who had absolutely no income, Marlowe. No income. There was not a dime coming to pockets.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, go ahead.
And it wasn't until we were that close to our goals that every challenge, not having the money, not having food, these are real things that happen. Not knowing how we were just going to build this thing. It wasn't until then that everything came out. And I say that to you, Marlowe, because until you get to that point, then you'll be completely clear. Now, it says you're ready to be coached. You're a 10. We're going to go into your personality. And we're going to talk about how to approach business using your strengths. But before I do, I want you to write this formula down. Philosophy reflects your attitude.
What was the first word?
Philosophy reflects your attitude. Your attitude reflects your actions.
You got no spell board for this? I suck at spelling.
Spell it any way you want. I don't really care. Philosophy reflects your attitude. Your attitude reflects your actions reflect your results, and your results reflect your manifested lifestyle. And what that means, Marlowe, is this. I want me to repeat it again?
No matter how many times you repeat it, it's going to take me forever to write it out. Philosophy reflects your attitude.
Your attitude reflects your actions.
Attitude.
Your actions reflect your results. And your results reflect your manifested lifestyle. So what that means is this. It means you are your best thinking. So if your life is here, Marlowe, your best thinking is here. And if you want your life to be here, your best thinking must first be here. Because your thoughts are things.
Thoughts are things.
So if you have this reserve, right, because let's talk about limiting belief. I want you to be upfront and straight up. What's a limiting belief that you currently have right now?
A limiting belief. I gotta be. You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
I have no limiting beliefs. I believe that I am going to be great beyond measure.
No, you do. You have one. You mentioned one yesterday.
Limiting beliefs. Something that I believe I can't do. Is that?
Something that will hold you back. Something that limits you to accomplishing something. Everyone has a limiting belief.
You're making me ponder.
You have to know these things.
You said I said it yesterday.
Here. I'm going to put you in a position right now. If I tell you that in order for you to be successful in a fraction of the time that you think it's going to take, let's say the $10,000, you need to invest in your education to get the skills and abilities that you need to create this kind of income on demand. And I say, Marlowe, you have to raise $10,000 in a week to invest in that kind of education, or else it'll go to $20,000. Would you do it?
Yes.
You would.
Yes, I would. No, you're trick. It's a trick bag. I would try. That doesn't sound good.
Okay, so look, let's talk about that. That's a limiting belief right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew you. You got me.
Babe, try and take this pencil.
I took it.
Yeah, you took it. I
Yeah.
said to try. I didn't say take it. I said try. Just wait. Just wait. Try and take this pencil. No, you took it. I didn't say take it. I said to try and take it.
What are you talking about?
Just try and take it.
I took it. What are you talking
Try and take it. No, you're taking it. It's asking you to try. Now you're not taking it. Now you're taking it. So you see that there's no such thing as trying. It's either you're not taking it or you're taking it. That's a limiting belief right there.
Okay.
That's one. So would you actually come up with a $10,000 in 7 days?
Yes.
You would.
Yes.
You already know how you would get it.
Yes. Through my business.
Cool. Huh?
Through my business, I would do something that would create enough revenue through my business to make it happen.
Let me ask you. When do you get paid?
Every Monday and on the 15th.
Every Monday and
No,
on the 15th?
yeah, the 15th is the monthly check.
So if you create $10,000 by Monday, you would get paid that Monday, that $10,000, or will that go through the following?
The commissions for the month are prior to the 15th. So the 15th we get paid for the month prior, for the whole month.
So you wouldn't make the deal. You need to do it within seven days. You're telling me you'd come up with the $10,000 next month on the 15th. So that's out of the question. Next.
So it would have to be on it on.
You need to hand it in. You got to hand it in 7 days, or else you miss out.
I guess Monday.
So how would you do it?
I would give every waking hour to my business in order to create income.
Pause. That's awesome. Okay? So the one limiting belief was the trying. I love your red personality right now because you're freaking trying to say something that's just, you're going to get it is the point, is what you're trying to make across. And that's awesome, and that's what it takes to win. But because of the hesitation of not really sure, right, and it's going to take time to think, I know I'm putting you on the spot, you will find yourself coming across
like a woman does.
Yeah. But you will come across a challenge. You will. And when you come across that challenge, we'll determine what that limiting belief is. And I can't wait till you tell me what it is, because it will happen. But that limiting belief will reflect in your attitude, which will reflect in the action, then reflects the results. So the limiting belief of trying, right? Limiting belief of trying, then you go into your attitude. So you're going to have this kind of reserve because trying already puts a reserve. The action you take won't be full percent because you're going to try. Therefore, the result you get isn't the full result. You'll probably come up with $3,000, not 10. Therefore, you won't make it and your manifested lifestyle stays the same. Do you see how your philosophy equals your life? And what happens, this is important for you to know when you start developing your team. Because when you start developing your team, what's going to happen, people like your friend who don't do absolutely anything, and you get frustrated as a leader. It happens. You'll get frustrated. Damn it, because you want your business to grow and you actually care about the people in your team that you want them to grow. So you get frustrated. Why isn't this person taking action? Well, that's the wrong frustration to have. The frustration can't be on the action not taken. It needs to go back to the root, which is what? The philosophy. That's the only way somebody takes action. It's the philosophy. You want your life to change? Your thinking must change. That is the first thing to being successful, which is why leaders in any industry at any height of income consistently continue to develop themselves because they know that their income is a direct reflection of their personal growth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm sharing that with you, man, because I know that you're a red. You're a red. And you need to hear that. I'm going to show you how you're going to be approaching business. Because as a red, you're a powerful leader. You're a powerful man. My husband's a red. You're destined to lead your family to success. As a red, you have every single quality within you to do it. But there's 3 kinds of reds. You have a typical red, a dysfunctional red, and a functional red. And if you are dysfunctional, the same qualities that can take you straight to the top can take you straight to the bottom. Which is why I'm telling you like this. So I'm going to show you how to use your strengths in business. And if you're not clear in your mind, you're going to go completely opposite. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So take out your notebook and let me know when you see my screen. Awesome. All right, this is Aaron. This is Michelangelo. Aaron's a multimillionaire. He's an awesome dude. Michelangelo is in the high six figures. I'm sure he makes millions everywhere else too, though.
Very cool, cool. So here's what's going to happen, right? My wife is basically going to take you through a bunch of slides, which is good. In the process of doing that, she's also going to share with you how to approach your business, what skill sets you must develop when it comes to using the internet so you can actually start growing your business, right? But here's a really important part that I like to tell everybody is that there's two types of people, right? There's a type of person that they get on here and they kind of nod their heads. They feel good because they're receiving good information, right? But they do absolutely nothing and they don't take any notes, right? The next type of person is the person who, gets on here, takes notes, right? Because the information retains in their mind a lot longer, and they go out there and they take massive action on what we tell them, right? And the people who take massive action, right, are the people who are going to succeed, right? It doesn't matter if you don't really know exactly on what to take, but I can promise you by the end of this presentation, Marlowe, that you're going to have a better idea on what you need to take action, right? And then we're going to put it into a step-by-step process. So then it's so simple that all you have to do is just take action, right? Because by you choosing not to take action, you're also choosing to walk away from what you just shared with us, which is this life that you want to provide for your family. And I know that's super important for you, right? And the next thing that I tell people is I want you to pretend that you're pulling out your credit card and you're buying our time, right? We actually charge for consulting, right? It's about $297, right? And I want you to imagine that you're paying for our time, okay? Because for some reason, when people actually pay for something, all of a sudden they start to pay attention, right? And that's super important, right? And all of a sudden the focus and the concentration all of a sudden becomes super intense because it's now costing you something, right? And even though you are not paying for this because this is a free strategy, you are paying with your time, right? And time eventually equals money, right? So make sure you pay attention, right? Baby, I'm gonna let you take this away.
Cool.
Go ahead and just crush it here.
Yeah. So Aaron Rashkin here, right? He's a red, so is Michelangelo, which is why I'm talking about them. And Aaron Rashkin mentioned a story to me. I was talking to him, and he was saying, when he was just coming up into, the business industry, he went and he was talking to this millionaire woman. And, he's like, hey, I have this idea, and he's going off on this idea, and the woman looks at him and says, Aaron. He's like, what? He's like, stop. Like, what do you mean? He's like, your ideas make you broke. My ideas make me rich. Now go and look in the mirror, because what you're going to find is that you're going to be looking at the problem and the solution. And she walked away. And he said that was the moment that he believed that he invisibly became a millionaire. Because he looked into the mirror and he actually began to cry. And he realized that, yes, he's the problem, but yes, he's also the solution. And so if he focused on solving and becoming a better version of him, that his whole life can change. And that was the first invisible result that created the millionaire he is today. And I share that with you because that's so important. Like I mentioned before, it all starts with your mind, okay? So a red personality is driven by power. They're driven by results. They like to cut to the chase, get to the point. They're known to get what they want, regardless. They like to take control, and they're strictly business. This is how they drive their business, their goals. This is their personality that dominates the way they run business, okay? Cool?
Yep.
Does that pretty much sound like you in business?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So this is where you thrive. You're like Donald Trump here. You're the competitive go-getter. Okay, red personality. This is how you're going to thrive. Number one, leveraging systems. So you may say, well, what system? Well, there's a funnel process that we're going to teach you how to create and present them in many different parts of the internet so that these systems begin working for you. For example, the day you called yesterday, my husband and I were outside on the back porch just enjoying some time together. So one email that we sent was working for us and that got you to call. Here's another example. I receive tons of emails every day saying, hey, power couple, you guys are awesome. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be succeeding right now in my network marketing business. Hey, power couple, I just left a home event. I had 20 people show up thanks to the things that you've been teaching us. I just want to say we appreciate you, things like that. And then there are times, right, where I wake up and I get out of bed and I check my email and I see that I've made more than I did in a month just for getting out of bed prior to working a job. As I was working a job, right? And when those things happen, it's only because we have systems in place that do that work for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The cool thing about that, Marlowe, is that your business will begin working for you instead of you working for your business. And that's what you want, because Reds are strategic at how they grow their business. They're very smart. And so we're going to show you how to do that. Number two, you like knowing numbers, because by you knowing numbers, you're able to diagnose your business and you're able to see what's working and what's there where you know how close you are to your goal or not. So we're going to teach you how to know your numbers. You thrive in being the leader, which is why you got to develop yourself as that leader. You being in room, having the control, setting your goals and sticking to the plan. This is where you're going to thrive. Now, here's how you approach business. I'm going to move to the next slide. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, you approach business by this, okay? And we're going to teach you how to do all these things. Some of it, you're going to be like, I don't know how to do it. Well, paid marketing strategies. We're going to teach you different kinds of paid marketing strategies, what works, what doesn't work, and how to make them continuously work effectively. Okay, we're going to teach you those different kinds of paid marketing strategies. Number two, video marketing. You need to have a YouTube channel. Okay, we're going to show you how to market your videos that will allow people to begin chasing you from the internet, from all different walks of life all over the world. This is one of my favorite things that my husband and I do. And because of it, till this day, we get people who search things on Google or YouTube, and our videos come up, and we generate leads and sales without having to work, because it does it for us. Say that again?
I'm going to be good at that one.
Yes, you will. You're going to be amazing at that one, and I can't wait to show you how to do it. And it's fun. The cool thing about video marketing is that you do it once and it works for you for the rest of your friggin' life. It's awesome. People still come to us from videos we did last year.
Some videos I don't even know.
I'm like, I don't know how you got a hold of it. Well, it's on the internet, so people just come across it all the time. It's crazy, but it's awesome. So video marketing is going to be a great tool for you. Social media marketing. How do you use social media to a way that is highly effective? And that's our all-time fave. I mean, we take our videos and then we syndicate them through social media, but we make most of our money from social media tactics. Okay? The fourth one, say that again?
I'm going to be good at that one too.
Yes, you will. It's in your personality, right? Number four, putting systems in place for your team to follow. So once you have systems in place that you're making money off of, that's working for you, then you just have a system for your team to follow, and they'll naturally start winning as well. All right, the fifth one is knowing your numbers in the comp plan and going for it. So what you do is you're going to say, well, $10,000, I need X amount of people, or I need X amount of QPVs, I guess it's called over there?
QB.
Yeah, QB, okay. So you look at that and you actually do those numbers so you know what you need to hit in order to get the goal that you're looking for. And then you need to let your vision lead you. Your vision is the reason why you're in business and why you want to help people. If you lead with that, you will succeed. The key to success is you and your mindset. Okay? When you lead with vision, what happens is people naturally attract to you because your vision speaks to them. And they don't care what it is you're promoting because they're in love with your vision. That is awesome. That is different from leading with the company and the products and things like that. And I know you were saying sometimes we may get desperate and you just join, you know, that whole thing. Okay, the secret is this: detach yourself from the outcome and just do. Because if you detach yourself from the outcome, you won't become desperate, and you're just doing. So this is how it would work. I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how your marketing should go, whether it be done through video, a video on a blog, and then the blog on a social media site. You understand you're selling two things in Visalis. You're selling products and you're selling opportunity. So let's talk about opportunity. That's where most of the money is made anyway. So opportunity. What I would do is I would cut a video, take that video, put it on a blog, write about it, take that blog, put it on a social media site. And what that video and blog would say is something like this. Hey, this is Marlowe, and I'm talking to you live from Illinois here, and I wanted to shoot this video to share something really powerful. But before I get to it, I want to let you know, I want to know if I'm talking to the right person. If you're the person that has these dreams, visions, and ideas inside of them, but they're bottled in because you feel as though you are unable to live them out and make them your reality, then you're the right person. Because I remember being there. You probably feel like you're not living your purpose. You probably feel like you're not satisfied with life. You probably feel like you're unworthy or some type of loser. And I felt the same exact way. And I can remember a time when you would share a story, and then you go, but then I found this. I found a system that I can plug into and use it as a vehicle that can get me to the places I need to go so I can start living my dreams and making them my reality. And I want to do this and show it to you so that you can do the exact same thing, because how good would I be if I just make my dreams a reality without helping anyone else do the same? So I want to reach out to you and give you the same opportunity, because ever since I found that my life has done a 360, I now feel excited about life. I feel vibrant. I feel like I'm living my purpose. I feel like I am driving somewhere and every day is meaningful. I also feel confident as a man. I am a leader. I'm a provider for my family, and I believe everyone deserves to feel this way. You deserve to make your dreams a reality, and go ahead, take this opportunity, watch the video below, because it changed my life and it can do the same for yours. And then the person clicks the button. Notice how I didn't mention Visalis or the comp plan. They click the button, and then it's a capture page actually. And it says, see how Marlowe went from producing $0 to $5,000 within 60 days. That has to be true, obviously. And then they put their email in. Once they put their email in, not only did you collect a lead that you can follow up with an autoresponder, which will teach you how to use, but that email is now in, and it takes them to a video. And then the video is about a minute long, and it's you again. Hey, this is Marlowe. If you're here, it's because you're looking to get plugged in to the same system that's gotten me to the next level in my life. Well, congratulations for making the decision. You are one step closer to creating your manifested lifestyle. I'm excited for you. Go ahead, watch the video or get to the next page. Make the decision to take action immediately, and you will find that your life will never be the same. I'll see you on the other side, and I'm looking forward to helping you in creating your journey. And then the person clicks the button, and it takes them to the Visalis comp plan video or whatever it is, and it's just a checkout page. Not your website. You will ruin it. Because if it's your website with a little picture of you that says Marlowe, personal distributor of Visalis, whatever it says, you will kill it.
Now I have a question. You know, why would it get ruined? You know?
It would get ruined because, one, they're looking at so many other things, so many things that have nothing to do with the reason why they even got there in the first place. You want to just get them in, get them out. If you allow them to see so many other things, suddenly not only does it distract them, but other thoughts start coming in, and what happens is, maybe this isn't for me. They're interested in obviously changing their life. What's going to change their life? Money. What's money going to do? Give them what they want. So you want them to get to the point, and that's it. The clearer you can be with the least amount of distractions, the more likely you are to convert sales. Okay? That would be a sales process. That would be a sales funnel. Then you can do that for product by giving health tips. You can also do that through your emails. And this is how you're going to create a presence online. This is how you're going to want to approach business. Then you have paid marketing strategies that gets traffic to those videos or to that capture page, whatever it is. There's a way to do this, and there's a way to do it right. And this is how you approach business. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you have a blog, and we're going to also teach you how to use that blog, putting your videos on it and marketing it and syndicating it. So when you went and activated the blog is hosted by a platform called the Empower Network. Okay? And the Empower Network is an internet marketing university. It's an educational platform that teaches business owners, whether traditional, network marketing, or affiliate, how to market anything properly to create an income on demand. So when you have these skill sets, Marlowe, what that means is that you can literally market anything. For example, if I say, babe, I want to go to Hawaii. How much money do we need to raise in order to be able to go to Hawaii next month? How much extra?
Let's raise $4,000.
An extra $4,000. So then I'm going to look for something that can immediately create $4,000 faster than anything that I have currently. And because I know how to drive traffic, I'm going to market that and create an extra $4K this month because we want to go to Hawaii. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the skill sets you have. And no one can take that away from you. God forbid Visalis goes down. God forbid, which I'm not saying it will. I really think it's an awesome company and it's been around for a while now. God forbid it goes down. Your income isn't dependent on the products that they offer. It's dependent on the skill sets that you have. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome.
I've thought about that over and over.
Good, good. Yeah, because, it happens. Some network marketing companies do go down. And the only reason is because you have other people in the company who aren't marketing compliantly to the rules of the FTC. And because of that, they have the right to shut down the company. So if that were to ever happen, you know that you are not relying on the products. This is just one of the vehicles you're choosing to use. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. So because of that, there are different courses in Empower. And as you begin to activate those courses, what I want you to know is we have put down a list of checkpoints. So as soon as you activate them, these are the videos and audios we want you to go to first before you explore anything else, because we went through them and we said this is the one that's going to help you and your personality the most. So write these down, okay? I forgot to write one in here, so give me a second. Actually, I'll just tell it after. The Inner Circle, okay? In the Inner Circle, this is an audio archive. On October 14, 2013, you want to look at this audio. It's called Collecting Emails and High-Speed Conversions. This is Michelangelo. March 10, 2014, The New Blood, How to Double Your Sponsoring Now with Michelangelo. And February 10th, 2014, Being Successful with a $25 Blog. Michelangelo Lopez, okay? So those are the 3 audios we want you to first go to before you explore. There's audios that start from today all the way back to 2012, and they constantly get updated. But these are the ones we want you to go through first, and then you can move on. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As you activate the 15K formula, this is a traffic course. It teaches you all on traffic. Lesson 6 and 7 teaches you on paid traffic for a solo ad formula, parts 1 and 2. A solo ad is you basically going to someone and saying, hey, I see that you have a list, an email list of 5,000 people. Can I borrow it at this price and send them my offer? And then the person might say, yeah, you do a little negotiating, and you pay them, and you send them an email. So now you've got your offer to 5,000 people. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then the master's course. This is teaches you how to run your business like a business. It allows you to outsource. 2 lessons in there. Lesson 20, exponential income, making more easier with less work. And then lesson 21, paid traffic mastery, which is one of the things that you're going to love because that's how you're going to approach business. Okay? And then there's one more, which I'm going to get to. Give me 1 second. Is it okay if I exit the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I took a picture of it.
Say that again?
I took a picture of it because I'm not a fast writer.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, cool. Let me just pull up the other one, just in case. It's in the Costa Rica Intensive. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, do less and make more, creating money out of thin air, lesson 6. So just make sure you write Costa Rica, lesson 6.
Costa Rica
Costa Rica, lesson 6.
with a P, with a P or a C.
Costa,
Okay.
Costa, like the country. Okay? Cool.
Costa Rica,
So lesson
lesson 6.
6. Yes. Now, these are the things that you are going to implement into your business that can get you from where you are to where you want to be 10 times faster, because now you actually have the skill sets to go about it. You know, right now you're kind of going about business blindly and just promoting, which is good. You're doing action, and it's going to get you there eventually. But if you have more of an intentional promotion that gets people to hunt you down, and then you have the skill sets in closing, and you have systems in place, so if you want to take a day off, you can. After the 90 days, though, then you would be able to. Does that make sense?
Just a day though?
Cool.
A week
So
vacation after 90 days.
that's right. That's right. After the 90 days, then you know the cool thing about that, Eric, what we're saying is like when people do the 90-day sprint, they literally can coast for the rest of the year. That's sexy. Can you imagine that? Just spending 2 hours just kind of like tweaking the systems you have out there and just saying to your wife, to your kids, go away. And because your business doesn't require you to be in a building, you can work from wherever you want in the entire world.
Right.
That's pretty cool. I think that's the coolest thing ever. You can work from your laptop.
That's the beautiful thing. And we want to help you do that, right? Exactly. That's all you need. That's all you need. So now, we don't coach anyone if they're not willing to develop. Because I know, I mean, I've been talking about it since I started talking, was the importance of what?
Mindset. Oh.
Mindset. The philosophy.
Philosophy.
And the reason why is because my husband, but we can only have a high success rate if we work with people who actually function. When we say function, they have the mindset to actually take action. So we choose not to work with anyone who doesn't commit to this part. And this part is this. It's a plan called 30 Cubed, which is reading for 30 minutes of positive books, right? Listening to positive audio for 30 minutes for 30 days straight, and if you miss a day, you start back at 1. So at the end of this, we're going to give you 4 free books. You read Think and Grow Rich?
No.
Okay, by Napoleon.
Just GoPro. I'm in the middle of reading What to Say When You Talk to Yourself.
All right, cool. That's awesome. Those are good books. Then the second book we're going to give you is Born to Be Rich. The third one is The Science of Getting Rich, which I love. And the fourth one is What Successful People Do in Their Mornings. So I'm going to send you all of those books at the end of this. Now we're going to get you the positive audios. But these positive audios aren't just positive audios on mindset. They're actually going to teach you marketing skills on emailing, those 3 checkpoints I gave you that I need you to start implementing. So in order to do that, well, what I need you to do is you're going to choose one of those books, and you're going to get 30 minutes until you finish that book, okay? 30 minutes a day. Same thing with those audios. Choose one of the audios, spend 30 minutes on it a day, right? And you move on as you go along or until you internalize it. Okay, so what I want you to do is log into empowernetwork.com on a different tab using the username and password that you just created yesterday. And then let me know when you're there.
Hey, can you use me real quick? I just want to make sure that this is done.
I'm actually already logged in.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, cool.
So
hey, I like your beard, by the way. How do I grow one of those? I've been trying to grow one for many years now.
Yeah, I've been hairy since 16.
That's so funny. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. He's gonna be like this for a while.
Yeah.
Just doesn't grow.
Maybe you can send me some hair over.
I just can't
actually,
here.
Yeah. I got you, man. we will exchange. No, actually, what's funny is, when I met my wife a couple of years ago now, right? I actually met her through her father, believe it or not, right? wanted to learn how to do martial arts. And in the process of learning how to do martial arts, I came across her father, who was actually the instructor. Well, anyways, to just summarize that big story into a shorter one, all of the students there, including myself, got transferred over to her school, right? Well, anyways, at his school, he was, I took like an intro class, which is like 2 classes. And one of the things that he said, at the end of the class, he's like, so how do you like it? My trial was kind of over. And as it was approaching to the end, he's like, all right, so let's get you started. Let's get you started because you came here, you want to learn how to fight. You're going to learn that. I already got the schedule out for you. I got everything for you so you can learn and you can become the best that you can become. And I was like, all right, sounds good. And he's like, all right, cool. So let me just bring over here the contract, right? And I was like, contract? I was like, I got really scared because I was like, I'm only 19 years old. I don't know about contracts, right? And he's like, no, don't worry about it, right? And then he came out with this little pamphlet, and he's like, all right, cool. So the kickboxing classes are going to be $125 every single month, right? And immediately, the moment he said this, right, I was like, whoa, I was kind of thrown off, and I was like, oh, man, that's really expensive, right? I'm like 19 years old. I'm thinking it's expensive, right? And then he just looks at me like really intense, right? He just like he's a red personality too, right? He's like, but very strong. Kind of just looks at me, and I was like, and he's like, you came here to learn how to fight, didn't you? And I was like, yes. And he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to fight, and you're gonna become the best. Now let me tell you something. That type of mindset is gonna keep you broke. And I was like, oh my goodness, I got so scared. And I just like jumped, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, why? And he's like, because if you think $125 is expensive, can you imagine being 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, and still having that problem and not being able to get the things that you want? And I just signed the paper, and I was like, but what's funny, what happened, the reason why I tell you is a couple of things, right? One, because it's true. How long was I going to continue like that, right? And the second thing is that sometimes we don't even realize what we're signing up for, right? And I'm not saying that coming from a negative way, because when I signed up, here's what happened. Not only did I become a martial artist, right, but I met my wife. Not only did I meet my wife, which was the woman of my dreams, but I became a black belt. Not only did that happen, but I became an instructor, and because I became an instructor, I developed a skill set of how to communicate to people in a way that I would have never gotten the chance to if I would have never signed up. The next thing that I got is I got to run a martial arts traditional business. I got to understand numbers. I got to understand how to run a business. I got to understand the different metrics and systems that come in place when it comes to building this business, right? And in the process of doing that, all because I made a decision, not even realize that that decision was going to give me all of that, right? And sometimes I think people don't really understand that by them making a decision to do something, it's really giving them a lot more than what they actually think. And it's so much more in use value that it's a lot more than the cash value that they're willing to pay, right? So that's a little quick story I wanted to share with you because it just changed my life. I would have never thought I would have found a wife there. Come on. I got saved. I forgot to mention that. I got saved. I found who God was, right? Found who Jesus was for my life. And all of those things happen, right? So I share that with you because sometimes you have no idea the decision that you made when you got in, right? It's a lot bigger than what you actually think. It's a lot bigger than what we thought got in 12 months ago. So let me just get something to drink fast.
For sure. All right, cool, man. So I love that story because it's just so funny. All right, so Marlowe. Yeah, right. There, right? You see Empower Network?
Yeah.
Cool. You're at the home page. You should see on the left side it says Fast Start Checklist.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, cool. And then you see below, don't click on anything, you see Fight the Forces of Evil.
Uh-huh.
And then you products.
I didn't hear you. What you say after it said fight the evil? Fight evil.
Forces of Evil, right below it says producer.
Top producer formula products.
You see the yellow box there? The yellow one?
Yes.
Okay, and then below it you see core products.
Yep.
Cool. And then you have the viral blogging system right underneath core products in that section. And then you have the inner circle. You see inner circle?
Yes.
Awesome. So I want you to activate the inner circle. It's gonna take you to a video. I want you to pause it, and then I want you to activate it using either the credit card you currently have on file or put in another card. Okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get some water, so I'll be back in like 6 minutes, okay?
Does it cost, or what is it? What's it doing?
Yeah, it costs money because it's an audio archive that is from today back all the way till 2012, and it's going to constantly get updated. The reason why you want these audios, for one, it's going to be part of your 30 cubes plan, and two, there's checkpoints in there that I want you to start learning on right away.
Okay, my card doesn't have that amount of money.
Okay, so when can you get that amount of money?
Don't know. Yeah, I don't know right now. Yeah, I don't know right now. I don't.
Hey, Mark.
Get ready to go.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yes.
Serious, right? And the reason why it's serious is because I care about you and I care about everybody that comes in here, right? Because I remember, I just remember me and I remember us, right? And my question is, when you got started in here, right? Learning how to market your business, learning a skill set that could potentially give you a 6- and 7-figure income, right? Did you think it was going to be free?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you didn't think it was going to be free, right? The next question that I have is, if you knew that it wasn't going to be free, right, and you understand that it's a skill set and education you have to invest for, right, then how can you not know when you can come up with that money, right? And the reason why I ask that is that right now you're 40 years old, right? I understand your responsibilities. I understand that there's things that you need to take care of. Totally understand it, right? But can you imagine being 50 years old, then 60 years old, and then being even 70 years old and still having that problem? You see, when I realized that I had that problem at 19 or 20 years old, I immediately said to myself, how much longer am I not going to be able to afford the things that I truly want in my life? And because of that reason, I decided to get in. I was 19 years old, and I didn't have $125 to get started with the kickboxing class, but I found a way, and I set a date to it. And the reason why is because the same reason why we set a date to getting married, and the same reason why you set a date to getting married, right? Because if you don't set a date, it just goes to show two things. One, you're probably not going to get it, and you're not serious, right? So my question right now is, are you serious about this, or are you just not serious about this? Because from what you told me in the beginning was that you were going to do exactly what we tell you to do, right? Because what we're going to tell you to do is always going to be with our best intention to help you succeed in the area that you want to succeed in, right? So are you serious about this, or are you not really serious?
I'm serious.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're serious, right? Then going back to what I was saying before, right? And by choosing not to set a date, not only does it show that I'm not that serious, right? But it just means that it's just going to happen when it happens. And when you leave life to happen matters, right? It usually doesn't happen, right? It usually doesn't happen because you didn't set a date to it. I do for you what I want.
You froze.
Okay, cool. So I'm not sure if it froze, right? So last thing that I was saying is that we appreciate honesty, right? So if you're just not going to get it, then just be honest. If you're going to get it, let's set a date, right? And let's help you. Let's hold you accountable so you can get it and you can start your training immediately. Is that cool?
Sure.
All right, cool. So let's set a date, Marlowe. When are you going to have the $100 so you can pick up the inner circle so you can listen to the checkpoints that my wife shared with you? Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow.
Her husband's gonna love her.
Wow, I am so proud of her. Now we're just checking somebody. One of our members just got 3 sales. and she doesn't even know how she did it. That's amazing. How she did it in 7 days, right? Amazing. That's awesome. We got to call her. That's awesome. So what's up, man? You got to set a date to this, right? Because I'm sure if I asked you this question, when do you want to start providing for your wife and your family? You would say immediately, right?
Right now.
Exactly. Right now, right? Right now, right? And if it wasn't for her father talking to me as strong as he did, he was really strong, by the way. He's like, he can flick me with his pinky and I'll go flying because he's a Shihan. Yeah, he's like a master. He's the master black belt, right? He's like a 5th-degree black belt, right? And I probably would have never came up with the money, right? But it changed my whole life, like I said. And the same thing, it can change your whole life if you just make a decision, right? Because it's not really the $100 that we're looking for. It's really more the commitment that we're looking for, the commitment that you're going to do whatever it takes. Because if $100 is going to stop you, what else is going to stop you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that's not your intention. You're not here to quit. You're here to push through. So let's set a date, Marlowe. Right? Let's help you get started. Let's help you get the training that you need so you can start creating the results that you want. Is that cool?
Yeah, I would have to say it would have to be somewhere towards the end of the month. I mean, it possibly could happen with a few things being twisted and turned, but I gotta get out there and hustle, which I'm a hustler by nature.
Awesome. Yeah. I love to hustle too, man. So let's give me a date, right? So then we can set it up here. So what's the date? Did you give me a date, by the way? I wasn't listening.
I want to say the 30th, but I gotta look and see what day does that fall on. 30th falls on. I'm trying to pull up a calendar. Phone has too many things going on.
Saturday.
Okay, so that's like a week in 4 days from now, and you're gonna have it no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, right? You know, actually, I was presented something very similar, actually, right? I was given 72 hours actually to come up with $3,500, you know. And what happened is that the reason why I did it is because I was going to get exclusive rights to this coaching program, right? Where like a bunch of 6- and 7-figure earners, and in 72 hours, it's funny, right?
Yeah. This little dog, man.
Yeah. And in 72 hours, I came up with the $3,500, and I realized that I could have came up with that even sooner. I actually waited to like the 68th hour, and the reason why I waited really long is because I was afraid. I had a limiting belief. The limiting belief was I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't think I had the resources, and I just never in my life had ever come up with that much money for business. And then I realized that it wasn't that I didn't have a lot of resources. It was that I wasn't being resourceful enough, right? Instantly, in an hour conversation, I was able to get someone to invest into me, invest into my vision, invest into my business, and they did it very happily. They said, okay, I'll give you $3,500. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, you know, like I just broke down into tears, you know, because I was like, wow, people actually believe in this, my vision,
right?
You know, so $100 shouldn't be a big issue, right? Because as long as you have the reason why you're doing it and it's in front of your mind, you will come up with so many creative ways, not illegal ways or anything like that. Because at first I was like coming up with all of these like unethical ways to come up with $3,000. I was like, maybe we should steal that sign and sell it. And then, but there's so many ways to come up with it ethically, right? And that's the only way we're talking about it. So go ahead and do that, man. And you know, this coaching strategy session is kind of incomplete because in order for us to actually coach you on some of the stuff that we want to, you need some of the tools in the system, right? But we have team trainings every Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So right before we end, we're gonna do a self-assessment right here, right now, and then we're gonna finish this off nice and strong. And then my wife is gonna come back on here. She's gonna give you a step-by-step process, right? She's also gonna give you access to the team training, so you can get more of the trainings, stuff that we've done in the past that you might have missed.
That you can just go through and just have a good time. So my husband now is gonna do the last part with you, and then we're gonna end it off. All right?
Okay.
Cool. Let us know when you can see the screen.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Okay, cool, awesome, Marlo. Okay, cool. So this is going to be really fun, right? This is when we got started. We were trying to figure out, if we can break down skill sets that people can come in here and focus on. What would those skill sets be? And those skill sets are exactly what you're looking at. It's actually 5 categories, which is people skills, business skills, mindset, marketing, and sales. Right? Basically, anything that pertains to selling, anything that pertains to creating money, and all that good stuff. So what I want you to do here is I want you to do a self-assessment of yourself. I'm going to walk you through it, but I want you to be completely honest with yourself, completely transparent, because by you choosing to do that it's the only way you're going to actually be able to grow, and the only way you can actually see your progression and track that. So let's start off with the people skills, and I want you to range and give yourself a grade from the scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you're not that good, 10 being that you find yourself very confident when it comes to that category. And then I want you to tell me why you believe you're that great. Is that cool?
Yes.
All right, so let's start off with people skills, Marlo. When it comes to that area, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you grade yourself in that area?
10.
Okay, and why is that?
I'm just a hell of a guy. I mean, seriously, I can pretty much communicate with anybody. I'm just that people person.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So you've never had that problem ever. That's awesome. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to business skills, how would you range yourself in this area? And before you answer this question, right, as a business owner, it doesn't just mean making money, right? It's a lot of different components like raising capital, creating investors, tracking your numbers, understanding the metrics and the systems when it comes to building your business, as far as your active count, your attrition rate, and all that good stuff, right? So if you are able to put all of that, all those components, give me an average on how would you range yourself in this area.
I'm gonna range myself on a 6 on that one. I'm gonna take the low note on that one.
Okay, cool. And why is that?
I have plans that I put together, but I don't always follow through with them. I have the ideas of it, but I don't always do what needs to be done.
Cool. Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense, which goes back to mindset, right? Philosophy. When you don't have the right philosophy, it affects your attitude affects your actions, and that's kind of where you're at right there, right? And I'm sure, you know what happens, I wanted to share something with you, is that for every incomplete idea or incomplete project that you don't follow through, it weighs on you. It weighs on you, and you're constantly thinking about the past instead of thinking about the future. If you think about it, things that are incomplete in your life, throughout the day, you'll go back into the past and say, holy crap, I should get that done. So now you're focusing your time and your energy and your mind and imagining stuff that you should get done instead of imagining stuff that will be more productive and more conducive to your and more supportive to your future. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So very important to get things completed. Your mindset. How would you range yourself when it comes to your mindset? When it
9.
comes to your mindset, how would you range yourself when it comes to that?
I'll take a strong 9 on that one.
What would be the level?
9.
A 9? Okay,
Yes.
cool. What do you think the reason is that?
I stay motivated. I stay positive regardless to what the situation is. I say 9 because I do fall a little doubtful at some times, but in most cases, even when the situation is at its worst, I don't, like my bank account being closed yesterday because of funds. I didn't let that. I mean, it's actually been negative for 2 months now, and I'm not. That doesn't define me because my bank account is going to look so much better. I paid my cell phone bill for the last 4 months with a with what they call bounce protection. I did it up until the point it wouldn't do it anymore, which was last month. So I don't worry about things that I mean, that was far from a worry for me. I mean, did I think about it several times? Yes, but I'm not worried about it. I'll fix it when I can because I understand that I'm going to be much greater than that negative. I'm going to be very way above what I'm negative now.
Cool, man. That's awesome. Give me 1 second. Hold on. We have to real quick. Just a quick phone call. I need my husband to help me answer real quick. Okay, give me
Okay.
like 2 seconds. I'm just gonna mute.
Okay, Marlo, I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool. No, that's good. That's good to have a good positive mindset when it comes to that, right? One of the things that we tell a lot of our members when they come in, have you ever seen the movie Titanic?
Yes.
Right? Do you remember what sank the ship?
Iceberg.
It was the iceberg, right? It was the iceberg. They kind of saw it last minute. It kind of stuck out of the water. They thought they did a good enough job to kind of miss it, but what they didn't realize is that underneath the iceberg was a lot bigger, right? And a lot of people sometimes they think that when they come into business, right, they come into understanding how marketing works, that they focus so much on marketing, and in reality, it's not so much marketing that's really the issue, right? As a matter of fact, 10% of you succeeding in your business has to do with actually the marketing and all that stuff that you came here for, and then 90% has to do with your mindset, right? Now, not saying that marketing is not important, but what I am saying is the same that goes for when you are doing a project and then it doesn't get completed, or you have an idea and it doesn't get done. It's not that the idea is not good. It's not that the idea doesn't work. It's just that the mindset wasn't there to allow you to take action on that. And the same thing with us, right? The mindset needs to be there in order for the marketing to work. And in order for your marketing to really, really work the way you want it to, there's a certain energy that when you're in a state of abundance or in a state of positivity, it transfers into your marketing, right? So I just wanted to briefly outline that because that's super important. And let's go into marketing now, right? How would you range yourself? What grade would you give yourself when it comes to marketing?
Marketing myself or
I think we all do a lot of marketing, but what I'm trying to get at here is when it comes to skill sets, right? To market your business, to market, just understanding how the 3 C's of marketing works, which is creating traffic, capturing leads, and converting sales. How would you range yourself in that?
I'm gonna go a little bit above average, 7.5.
Okay, so we'll go with 7.5, and why do you think you're at 7.5?
I think in the beginning, I I mean, and not saying, I mean, I'm just talking in the beginning because now I got a little bit better um, grasp on it. I think in the beginning I kind of over flooded the whole thing, but then again, maybe it's not over flooding. Maybe it's just the fact that the truth is, once you get started and talk about an idea, you're gonna be this millionaire and do this and that. That people who have a small mind frame will disappear regardless. So, I mean, because I started to lose some people. Some people, didn't want to follow what I was going on, but those are the people that have negative mindset anyway. So I don't really fault myself for doing what I did. I just know that you become alienated in this sometimes. Sometimes people will steer away from you. So that's why I give it I think I oversaturated it a little in the beginning.
Okay, got it. No, I totally understand. I mean, that's kind of what we did in the beginning as well. We started spamming people, started posting our links everywhere, and we got a lot of people who unfriended us, right? And that's not the best way to go about your marketing, right? What you're gonna learn here is how to tuck in your opportunity, and by you choosing to tuck your opportunity, what it's gonna do is gonna create this curiosity in your people, where as they try to go and figure out what your opportunity is, and as they continue to dig deeper and deeper and deeper, it's gonna give you an opportunity to constantly build a relationship through that person as they continue to try to dig. And before you know it, by the time they actually find the treasure, they've already know, and trust you. So all you simply have to do is, well, if you like me, then you'll definitely love this, right? It's as simple as that. So that's pretty cool. Now, when it comes to money, creating sales, and just selling, to create more money, how would you range yourself in that area?
Making if I'm given an opportunity to speak with someone, actually, I guess I can 7.5 close the deal.
Okay, cool, awesome. And why is that?
Sometimes I feel like I might over talk something that doesn't need that much talking.
Okay.
In basically in the Visalis community, all the tools are giving to us. They've done an excellent job at just putting all the information out there and then giving us everything is just like there. It's a website for everything. Share.buy, shake.buy, comp plan.buy. Everything is there. So getting them to the tools, but first you have to get them to listen to you. Some people shoot you down. I try to go through. Facebook has been a big piece of my work, and I have to get out of my comfortability and start doing something a little bit different. I guess that's why I'm trying to reach. I mean, I've been doing LinkedIn for the last couple of days and a little bit of Twitter for the last couple of weeks.
Okay, cool. Yo, that's actually really good stuff. Social media stuff we're really good on, and Facebook. Not sure what kind of marketing you do on Facebook, but when you start getting into paid marketing, you can run some Facebook ads, do some Facebook PPC, which is the ads that you see on the right-hand side and sometimes on your news feed. So all that stuff is really good. It's just understanding how to build those things up, developing the skill set so you don't lose tons and tons of money, which that's what you're gonna learn here. And
Okay.
It's just a matter of time before you're able to take $1, turn it into $3. Take $3, turn it into $6. That's really what paid traffic is about. So it's cool, man. It's really cool stuff. The couple of things that stick out to me is just your people skills. You know what I'm saying? Your people skills is very strong. Your mindset is solid. And then everything else is pretty much average, right? And here's what I want to let you know, Marlowe, right? What we want to focus is just growing all of your skill sets and maintaining the ones that are already good. And by you choosing to do that, by you choosing to invest into yourself, what's going to happen is that's going to create the door to actually creating the immediate $4,000 that you want to make per month, right? Which is quite simple when you actually understand why it is by you choosing to invest into yourself, right? A couple of things that just by talking to you, there's a couple of problems that I kind of immediately saw. The first problem is the attrition rate in your business. And the reason why I say that is because you've been able to bring 8 people into Visalis, right? I think you brought 4 of them, and then somehow 8 the 4 other ones were kind of like given to you because of some type of challenge that you did. You've been in Visalis from December 2013 to August 2013. You're gonna be approaching a year in your business, right? So I'm sure that you're probably looking to finish that strong before your year anniversary, right? Which is and the problem here is the attrition rate, right? Because what's happening is that you're losing more members at a faster rate than what you're actually producing. And what we want to help you do here is we want to help you increase your production so high that even though you are getting attrition in your attrition rate, people are quitting, right? It's not going to be enough for your income to stop. It's not going to get to the point where your income just gets shut down. It's not going to get to the point where you're literally just getting the last pieces of dollars, because the people who are still paying you, they have no idea they're even paying you. They're like kind of like actively not realizing that they're getting their money's taken out of their account, right? And by you choosing to do that, what's going to happen is going to create a solution and allowing you to build a better team, right? Because now, when you understand how to produce, you can teach your team how to produce, right? Which is really cool. The next problem that I saw is, out of those distributors, 0 of them, I think you said maybe 1, but close to 0 of those distributors are actually actively doing anything. They're not motivated like you are. They're not marketing their businesses the way you are. And in the process of doing that, it's just not, they're just going to all fall out, right? So those are a couple of problems that can really take you out of business and really cause a lot of discouragement, can really cause a lot of disbelief, and can put you in a state of just massive confusion and massive pain, which is the reason why you decided to reach out to us, right? So why should you actually listen to us when we tell you, Marlowe, invest into that, Marlowe, do this, Marlowe, do that? Well, simply because we've been in the same situation that you've been in. It took us about 7 months before we actually started producing, right? But once we started producing, we figured things out. Things just clicked, right? Because we didn't have guidance when we got started. And in 120 days, right, in just a little bit over 120 days, we've been able to personally sponsor inside of our business over 100 people, right? And we've been able to generate, I think, like close to over 4,000 leads, right, which is like 1,000 leads every month. And we have more active members than we've ever had in our entire business career, or whatever you want to say, right? And more of those members are more active than ever before. More of those members are more responsive, and they're actually looking forward to building the business simply because we've been able to apply some of the strategies and methods that we've learned here, right? So, and like I said, when we got started, we had no idea. Very similar situation that you were in, just trying to figure things out. So that's the reason why you should listen to us, because we want to help you be able to take the same results that we've gotten so you can place them into your business, because what we care more about is your success story, right? Because a success story is better than you just paying us and then nothing happens, right? The only reason you're going to find yourself nothing happening is by you not taking action, or by you somehow not, like my wife said in the beginning, it's not the actions aren't the thing that don't work, it's the people who don't keep taking those actions. So let me just pop my face up here. And let me just bring my wife out here. What she's gonna do next, she's basically gonna break everything down into steps. She's gonna send you an email, and then inside of that email, you're gonna go down through it. You're gonna get your 4 books there, and then we're gonna go from there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey Marlo, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, cool stuff, cool stuff, cool stuff. Okay, cool. I had no idea this was happening, but I guess my wife, she wants me to she wants me to do this with you because she really likes you, whatever. Right, so it's gonna be cool stuff. So let me just pop my screen here, and let me just take you back here. So your immediate goal is to make what, 3,000?
4.
I'm sorry, 4,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm gonna do real quick here is I'm gonna share with you a couple of things, right? I'm gonna share with you how simple it really is to actually make $4,000, right, within the next 90 days, which is a fraction of what you actually think it's gonna take you, right? The next thing that I'm gonna share with you is all the skill sets that you're gonna learn here, okay? Meaning that what each course entails, right, and the value that you're gonna be receiving. And then the last but not least, I want to teach you about team duplication. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, cool stuff. So let me just mod, because I know you're kind of like a numbers guy sometimes, Reds can be. Okay, cool. So real quick, right, let me just bring this out here. What I want to let you know, right now you have the viral blogging system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a blog. So you're probably saying, well, I don't know how to blog, because when I got started, I didn't know how to blog, right? What we're going to tell you right now is that you blog every single day for the next 90 days. doesn't matter if you don't know how to blog, right? Because what's going to happen is that we really can't coach any action that's not being taken. And the only people who actually succeed are the people who take massive action. And in the course of that, they have the ability to kind of realign how they're doing things based on the feedback that the coach is giving them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool stuff. So the blog is simple like this. It's basically something called indirect marketing. It's a good way to generate leads. You have indirect marketing and you have direct marketing, right? In direct marketing, it's paid traffic. Indirect marketing, you're basically marketing to somebody in a very indirect way. So, for example, I mean, there's very indirect ways of marketing. One of the ways that it is with your blog is, for example, let's say that you do a video, right, on YouTube. What's your favorite book?
I just started reading a couple of months ago, so there is no favorite book.
So, okay, you just started reading. Okay, well, let's say that you're reading GoPro, right?
I actually listened to the audio of GoPro, and I read GoPro, and I read.
Okay, maybe this is a bad example because you just started. What's one of the things that you find yourself like a? What are some of the things that you would say you're like an expert in? Like maybe what would you say like you're good at?
Photography.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Okay, so I'm guessing you know like the difference between like the different cameras, the different, you know what I'm saying? Right?
Well, yeah, somewhat. I did photography actually prior to doing this. I actually still am doing photography. Actually, I just very limitedly, not as much. But prior to this, I did photography to earn a living.
Okay, cool. So you did photography. So you took pictures. You know about angles. You know about what brings about maybe like a certain feeling or experience that you can capture, right?
Yes.
So let's say you do a video on YouTube, right? And on the video on YouTube, what you simply do, you basically maybe give a couple of tips or whatever, and you're like, hey, what's going on? My name is Marlowe, and what I'm going to do with you in the next couple of minutes is, one, I'm going to share with you why you're at the right place at the right time, because you want to learn how to capture more moments, how to create more memories by using your Canon, blah, 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 to take pictures, right? Well, anyways, by the end of the video, you basically redirect them back to your blog, which is click the link below if you want more advice and more tips, and by you clicking that, it's going to take you to my blog where you can find other resources and other different ways to actually other ways that I didn't even mention on this video, right? So when people click on that link, you're basically redirecting all of that traffic that's searching up on YouTube different ways to create memories, let's say. And when you direct that traffic to your blog, what's happening now is on your blog they're getting more content that they're looking for, which is more advice, more tips, 4 ways to become a guru in taking pictures. And when that happens, all of that traffic is going to be watching and listen. They're going to be reading your blog or whatever. And in your blog, you have banners. You have a banner on the top. You have a banner on the bottom. You have a banner on the left-hand side, right? And if your traffic, when the people are going to your blog, if they get distracted, right? If they get distracted, what better way for them to get distracted than on your own blog? Because they're going to get curious. They're going to say, oh, what's this banner? And they're going to click on that banner. When they click on that banner, it takes them to a capture page, and then that basically puts them through a funnel where it leads them to your offer, your opportunity, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's indirect marketing, right? Indirect marketing is that way. It gets people to like, oh, wow, I didn't even know he was selling something. Oh, let me click on the banner, right? So that's really cool. That's what the viral blogging system is going to allow you to be able to do. Also, it's like kind of like a journal online. It's like really cool, right? But here's what it did for me, Marlowe, and I know you're a rep personality, right? And when I got started 90 days ago, around the 50th day, I kind of walked over to my wife when she was laying on bed, right? And when she was laying in bed, I kind of looked at her and I said, hey, babe, do you mind reading my blog? And she's like, yeah, sure, I don't mind reading your blog. And I was kind of confident by that point because I felt like I was blogging a lot better. And as she was reading it, she came back with so many grammatical errors, like her face, she was like, hey, you have a lot of errors here, you got the comma here, the period here, and this, and I was like, oh man, just tell me what you think of what the blog is about. Do you think it's good? And she kind of looks at me and she says, well, I think that you have a better personality when you write than when you actually speak. And she said it again. She said, I think they have a better personality when you write than when you actually speak. And she says, before you get offended, I must let you know this. She says, if you continue to blog for the next 90 days, here's what's going to happen. you are going to become a way more powerful communicator because you will develop clarity, direction, an objective, right? And in the process of doing that, there's a certain skill set, Marlo, that you need to develop to just create a paragraph, create a blog post, put content out on the internet. But in the process of doing that, it doesn't matter where you are right now. I know you're a 10 when it comes to PR, right? But you can become way better. What if you can get your point across in 30 seconds or less, right? What if you can develop things that as a communicator can really just take your words and just pierce people's hearts and get to their minds so they can take action on what you know is going to help them out, right? That's what blogging did for me, right? Allowed me to just develop that skill set. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool stuff, right? The next one is the inner circle, right? The inner circle is going to serve two purposes here, right? Number one, it's gonna be great because it's going to allow you to pick up on language patterns, right? It's gonna develop your mind to the next level. But really cool stuff is that every Thursday they bring marketers on this and they share with you stuff that they're doing in their business that's working. Stuff like email marketing, stuff like YouTube strategy, stuff like social media, 21 ways to generate a lead, right? And people come on and they share exactly what they're doing with you in their business, right? Which is really cool. And then there's an audio archive of their personal development and other people teaching about internet marketing skills. Really awesome stuff. The second reason I'm going to share with you in a little bit, but I'm just going to go through this real quick, right? The Costa Rica Marlowe is basically a mastermind intensive that took over in Costa Rica. And inside there's modules and trainings that are going to teach you how to properly market your business. One of my favorite ones is how to sell chocolate to anybody. And what that basically means is how to get so specific in targeting people that you can sell anything because you're solving people's problems. There's another one there that has to do with how to basically tell stories through metaphors to sell more. And that is really just in itself phenomenal stuff there, right? Like there's a couple of things that I've learned there that I use in my video marketing to be specific, right? That's really awesome. The next one is called the 15K formula. The 15K formula is basically a formula, formulas that basically teach you about traffic strategies. This is a more hands-on, more technical stuff. They're going to teach you about search engine optimization, which is how to rank your blog on Google. They're going to also teach you about how to write content for your blog. So if you don't know how to write content, you can start understanding how to do that. But there's really powerful stuff in there, right? There's the couple of the best ones that I've developed as a skill set is copywriting. You need to understand how to copyright when you do Facebook ads and when you do any type of advertisement, because you want to make sure people click either on a banner or gets them to do something that you're looking to do, right? It's taught me email marketing, right? When I first got started, I didn't understand how to email people, right? How do people open your stuff? I didn't know that you have to be intentional with your subject line. I didn't know that how to write a body, how to get people to click on stuff, right? But when you actually understand the components, it's quite easy. It's a lot easier than English class, trust me, right? It's just understanding the components. There's stuff on solo ads, right? Solo ads is something really cool. What it means is you're basically going after people who are have really big lists. For example, you're in Visalis, right? And the people who are in Visalis are probably it's a fitness and a nutrition company, right?
Correct.
All right, cool. So let's say I go to fitness.com, right? I'm not sure if that's even a website, but it might be a website. And inside this website, they just constantly, it's like a big website, right? And you know that this person collects emails. Let's say they have a subscriber base over 100,000 emails, right? You can actually go to that person who runs that website and you can say, hey, my name is Marlowe. I want to know if I can run a solo ad through you. And they're going to be like, okay, you can actually buy a solo ad. Okay, so what that basically means is that person is going to let you borrow their list so you can send them an email that's either going to take them to a capture page or you're basically selling to them. Solo ads are probably the fastest way to build your list and to basically generate a couple of sales like that, right? But you still have to understand how to work your list, how to warm them up, right? So I think that you probably might enjoy that. It's really fun stuff. They teach you how not to get scammed. They teach you exactly how to talk to the people you're buying solo ads from, and they teach you a lot of good stuff. It's really awesome stuff there. Last but not least is the master's course, which happens to be my wife's favorite one, okay? Because it's going to teach you how to outsource your business. It's going to teach you how to get other people to do stuff for you so you can focus on more productive and conducive things. For example, if you have a Facebook page, right, and you find yourself constantly posting content up there, why not just hire somebody from Elancer for you so it frees you up so you can do more stuff? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the master's course is a really awesome course. Teaches you how to outsource and how to run your business like a business. So here's what I want to let you know. When I got started about 12 months ago with my wife, like she said, we were completely broke, right? And we didn't even have any money to really invest. But the difference in our thinking was that we didn't say we can't do this. We said, how can we do this, right? And when we said, how can we do this, all of a sudden we went from not having the ability to think, because that's what happens when you say you can't do it. You shut your creative flows, right? You shut your creative mind. And when we said, how can we do it, we opened our mind to different possibilities and different ways to obtaining the resources so we can develop the skill sets by investing into the education, right? So we basically decided to get all in, and we were able to do that even when we didn't have any money, right? And what happens is a lot of people get in here, right, and they think it's going to be free or something, and it's not, because you're developing a skill set. You're investing into your education, right, which is going to create something phenomenal. So what I want you to do, Marlowe, is I want you to look at this from an airplane perspective. When's the last time you were in an airplane?
Woo. Maybe about 12 years ago.
That needs to change, dude. That needs to happen like every quarter or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to be flying more on vacations.
Right.
This year we were in Miami in January. Then we were in Seattle, and then we stood there for a month in the West Coast in Washington. Then we went to New Orleans. Then we went to Charlotte, and now we're going to be going to Orlando in October, right? And then we're going to stay there for 2 weeks, right? And the reason why I deserve it, and two, because I want you to look at it from that perspective. Airplane, right? The cars look like people. The buildings that look huge in front of you, all of a sudden become tiny, and all of a sudden you're looking out from the airplane window, the perspective into where you are on that plane. That makes sense? I want you to look at this, because what happens, Marlowe, is sometimes some people are looking at this all the way with their face right in front of the computer, missing out on the entire picture because they're just stuck to the computer, right? They're just like, their face is just almost like touching the computer, right? And that's what happens with a lot of things, right? Sometimes people are so stuck on a way that they miss the entire picture. And the entire picture that I'm trying to paint here for you, the entire picture that this is all about, is really about you. It's really about you providing for your family and for your wife and for your daughter. It's about you taking more vacations. It's about you being able to do exactly what you want to do as a man, being able to just say, you know what, let's do this. Just being able to just pull out your wallet, and inside your wallet have loads of $100 bills, right? And there's something that it does something to you, right? Because it represents more than just having money. It represents like security. Right. It represents like, just wow, like I remember when I first filled my wallet up, I decided to do something crazy, and I filled it up with like tons and tons of just tons of money, and I was like, I could have gotten robbed, right? But I was like, I was like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I can give. I wasn't even thinking about myself. I was thinking about I can actually just pull out money and I can just give the way I want to give, and that's how you should feel. You should be feeling like there is no restrictions to your giving, especially when it comes to your family. Okay. So when I say that, right, because I'm saying this because of this, right? When you look at this, right, there's a couple of things that can come across your head. Holy crap, this is a whole lot of money, right? And the reason why a lot of people think it's a whole lot of money is because they're making a comparison to something. What are people comparing this to? Are they comparing it to their mortgage? Are they comparing it to a car? Are they comparing it to something that's probably not even close to equivalent to the value it's going to give you back? For example, when I would go to Barnes & Nobles, right, I would buy a book, and then I would realize that book was overpriced. That's why people buy on Amazon. Well, I would go to the Barnes & Nobles, and even though it probably costs less to do the paper, the ink and the cover, right, and I was paying way more than what the book actually cost, here's what I realized. I said to myself, if this book can give me more in use value than the cash that I'm paying for, then it's totally worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I read Think and Grow Rich, right, and my mind blew up, right, and I actually created money with the principles from Think and Grow Rich, it's already exceeded the money that I paid for that book. So in that case, it was worth it, right? And what happens is that people try to compare things to stuff that's not equivalent in value, right? So what is this equivalent in value to? Well, it's equivalent in value to actually a profession that a lot of people like to tell their kids to do when growing up, which is totally cool because we need more of these people. But a lot of people growing up tell you to become a doctor or a lawyer. Now, why is that? Because it's a profession that generates a high six-figure income or six-figure income in America, right? So a lot of parents are like, just become a doctor, you know? You'll be good for the rest of your life, which is, okay, cool, right? But when you become a doctor...
No time.
Right? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just said when you do that, you have no time, no life.
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. Yeah, your time is limited, right? And when you become a doctor, it's like 6 to 8 years to be able to develop, right? To potentially do what? To potentially have the ability to have a job which can create an income which you're looking for, right? So it's not really that you need a job, you need an income, right? And when you look at that, when a doctor finally becomes a doctor, it takes them 6 to 8 years. And in the process of that, how much money, Marlowe, do you think that they're investing into their education to create a six-figure income?
Over 6 figures.
Over 6 figures, right? I would agree with you on that, right? And when you look at this, right, you say, holy crap. And by the way, by the time the doctor finishes paying that debt off, he's going to be well over 60 years old. He might be just bald, right? Because all the stress that he's carrying, with all that debt he's carrying forward, and that's no way to live, right? But when you look at this, you say, holy crap, it's not even going to take me a fraction of what a doctor takes for him to become a six-figure earner. I can actually do this in 90 days, right? If I just focus and I stay concentrated and I just decide to take action, right? And here's what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen is that you're also going to develop a skill set in the process of that can potentially give you a 6 and 7 figure 7-figure income, right? Because at the end of the day, Marlowe, people can take away your income, but people can't take away the skill set that you've earned. Does it make sense?
Right. Yes.
Makes sense, right? Makes sense. So where I'm going with this is that people just compare value to the wrong thing, right? So the next thing that I want to go into, right, is a couple of things. I'm going to break down these numbers. I'm going to show you how we can actively help you, right, make 4,000, which is what you're looking to do immediately, and then we're going to share with you how you can do something called team duplication here, okay? I know you like the numbers because I like the numbers, and you know usually people like to work with numbers here. Okay, so cool stuff. So real quick, about team duplication, I'm not going to take here very long, right? But what happens is that in network marketing, the problem that a lot of people normally have is that they find themselves holding other people's hands, and then in the process of doing that, they stop producing, and they also they're enabling other people to not become producers. So then everybody relies on the upline, you know, like the upline, my upline didn't help me, so I just quit and I decided to join Marlowe's team because he was going to help me, right? And you don't want that to happen because, you know, there's people who come up to us and say, hey, you know, can we just quit and then join your team? We're like, no, we're not going to coach you. Just stay with your team, okay? We don't want to coach people like that because we don't want it. Sometimes people think that by joining you, all of a sudden you're going to drop what you're doing, you're going to help them out. But you don't want to do that, right? Because you want to create six-figure income here, Marlowe, not wasting all of your time, because then that ruins the whole purpose of having time to hang out with your daughter and your wife and take them to lunch and all the cool things that you mentioned, okay? So there's a couple of things that you can go about.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll be back. I want to go to get it.
Okay. All right. You can leave the door open. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, cool, yeah. What I was saying is that there's a couple of ways that you can do this, right? And to be able to to take this information and become an awesome marketer to market your business and develop a skill set. The first one, right, because you're in business, you're in network marketing, you're in this profession, you can take everything you're going to learn here through Power Quantum and obviously the Empower Network trainings, right, which is that's what we encourage you to do. And you can actually teach your team one by one, by one, by one, by one, by one. And in the process of doing that, it's going to lead you back into not producing. It's going to lead you back to doing these training, teaching your team how to not produce and teaching them how to blog and all that stuff. You know, and that can create a lot of chaotic headaches, right? Or the second option is that you can actually have your team plug into a system where they get to pick and choose what they want to learn. So it's no longer, hey, Marlowe, I don't know how to market. Can you help me? Now you can actually redirect them to a training that's going to teach them specifically what they want, right, which is going to give you what you want, which is help your team start producing. Help you not only stay focusing on producing, but your team is now going to produce because they have the right education, they have the right system to go out and do the same exact thing, which only leaves you with one thing, which I believe you're really good at, which is leading your team. You're a leader. You lead your team with your vision, and your team is now learning and has the education to become a producer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So out of those two situations, which one of those would you rather find yourself in? Would you rather find yourself teaching your team one by one where you're learning, or would you find yourself rather being in a situation where you're just leading and your team is learning the stuff that they need to learn? Meaning that if they don't want to learn paid traffic, they can learn free traffic. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. Second one.
Right. Now, how fast do you think your team will blow up then? How fast do you think your volume and the sales in your business will go up?
It will go up expeditiously.
Exactly, right? That's what happened with us when the team just started taking action, right? We just, there's some lady who blogged about something, she's on our team, her name's Hillary, and, she just created 3 sales, and she has no idea how she did it. And mind you, this is somebody who was just not getting any results. Her husband was just about ready to kill her, right? Because she was just jumping from deal to deal to deal to deal, and her husband was like, this is a scam, like, you don't make any money, you always waste money. And, we met with her a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, I just have to transfer some money, right? And then she transferred some money, she got the education, she got the courses that she needed, and now here she is, and she's blogging about something, and she created 3 sales, so I'm super pumped up for her. But I'm going back to that. What I was saying is yeah, man, things can happen when you just decide to just make a decision, right? The next thing that I do want to cover is this, right? If that's the case, if you're gonna plug your team into a system that can do that and give them the stuff that they're looking for, right? Then my suggestion is that from a business perspective, you get compensated on that. And what I mean by that is that you can actually get compensated if you choose to do this, which is totally my suggestion. Not saying that you have to do this because you came here wanting to learn about how to market. So if that's all you want to do, that's fine with me, right? But if you actually want to get compensated for putting your team through a system that's going to teach them marketing, then go right ahead. So I'm just going to share that part with you, and you can just either take it or you can leave it. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's what happened when you become an affiliate, right, with Empower Network. What that basically means doesn't mean that you have to promote Empower Network, because we don't promote Empower Network. What do we promote? We promote our company. We promote the Power Couple, right? The Power Couple, right? Because that's what we've learned how to do from Empower Network, from the trainings. So we're a product of the product. So when I'm saying become an affiliate, you can still promote by Salis if that's what you want to do. You can promote Empower if that's what you want to do. Or you can just go back to what you're doing and just take the trainings and just move on with your life, right? But if you do that, here's what's going to happen, Marlowe. And here's when we can actively play a role in helping you establish the money that you want to make. And we can actually help you do it quite faster than what you actually think. So I'm going to break down the numbers on the right-hand side. Just let me know when you're ready, because last time we did this, there's a guy who cried because he realized how simple it is. There's a guy who almost fainted because he was excited. And then there was actually this little old lady who just couldn't believe it, right? So let me know when you're ready, and then I'll break down the numbers, and then we'll show you how simple it is to make $4,000.
I'm ready.
All right, cool stuff. All right, right now you have the viral blogging system, which you already know what that does for your marketing. So I'm not talking about the value. I'm specifically talking about money. Okay, when that happens, right, it's not really a big deal, but you make 100% commission for whatever product that you own, right? So what happens here is that in order for you to actually let's see here. Let me just go to the board, right? In order for you to actually make $4,000, you take $4,000 and you divide that by 25. Ah man, there we go. $4,000. You divide that by 25, right? And you would actually need 160 sales, right? Products that are coded to you for you to actually make $4,000 residual. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, "Holy crap, that's a big ass number." You know, I'm not even pumping out that many numbers. Like I'm not even getting that many leads in a day. You know, I don't. You know what? This doesn't look very simple to me. Well, I want you to stick here with me because by the time I'm done, not only are you going to realize the importance in getting all in to develop the skill sets that you need, but you're also going to realize why you need to do it by the end of this. Okay, when you activate the inner circle at the end of this month, right? When you look at that, you basically take this because you take 125 because that's the blog in the inner circle. You take 4,000, you divide that by 125, right? And what happens is that now the number drops significantly to even a lower number, right? It goes from 160 to 32, and that's residual. And that's the reason as you start looking at it, the numbers are going to drop more and more and more, right? But when you look at 32, it's a lot smaller than what you actually think. But I must let you know that we're not even pushing out these numbers, and we're still making more money. And I'm going to share with you how we actually do that as you continue to follow me through this, right? Let's say you pick up the Costa Rica because you want to learn how to specifically target your market by learning the training module on how to sell chocolate to anybody, right? Let's say you have that product as well. You take $500 plus 125, $500 plus 125, which is the blog in the inner circle, which brings you to 625. You take $4,000 and you divide that by 625, and bam, the number drops even smaller. It drops even smaller, right? Let's see. Let me just make sure I got it. Okay, cool. So it drops to 6.4 products that are coded to you for you to actually make $4,000. So there's no such thing as 6.4. So we'll just round it off to 7. Let's say you go ahead and pick up the 15K because you want to learn about how to write content. You want to learn about solo ads, email marketing, developing that skill set, and all the other cool traffic strategies that are in that course, right? You take a look at that one and you say, okay, so you take the viral blogging system, the inner circle, the Costa Rica, right? And what you're going to have now is the ability to do that, right? If one person does that, so it's 1625. You take 4,000, you divide that by 1625, okay? And what happens here is now you got 2.4, right? 2.4, which is really like, let's round it off to 3. You would need 3 products that are coded to you, or 3 people getting up to the 15K formula for you to actually make $4,000, right? Let's say somebody says, Marlowe, I've been watching you, I've been following you, because by now, Marlowe, you're going to learn how to market your business properly, and people are going to chase you down, and they're going to say, you know what, Marlowe, I want to learn how you're marketing. I want to learn exactly what you're learning. I want to know how I can become an awesome marketer the way you are. And you say, yeah, sure, you know, I these are the trainings that I've learned, right? And the person decides to get all in. Here's what's going to happen. When they get all in, you would actually over exceed that, right? Let's say they get all in, that's 25, that's 100, that's 500, that's 1,000, and then that's 3,000, right? Did I do the math right on that? Right, you would actually need just one person, right, to actually, one person that decides to get all in for you to actually make more than $4,000. Okay, so right before I get you back on here, I want you to just talk about a couple of things, right? I want you to talk about, you know, how simple now that I've breaking down the numbers it is for you to actually hit $4,000 if you decide to become an affiliate, right? We can actively help you do that, right? And then I want you to just share with me your favorite part, and I want you to share with me what you think about this, right? That excites you. Before you get on here and you speak, though, I want to let you know that what we want to focus on is building your residual if you choose to become an affiliate, right? Totally, it's up to you, right? But if you become an affiliate, we want to choose to help you build your residual because the lifespan of a network marketer is 2 to 5 months. Marlowe, I mean, you're approaching a year, and it's so very detrimental to your success and to your business for you to start getting significant results so you can get your wife off your back and so you can feel good that you're actually progressing in your business so you can take more action. Right, so what we want to focus is on your residual. Everything else is a bonus, But as you can tell, you actually only need one person who gets all in, who actually will make you more money than $4,000 in a month. All right. So let's get you back on here, Marlo, and I want you to just share those couple of things that I just mentioned. Marlo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, cool. So just get on here and just tell me what you think about the simplicity of and being able to actually create $4,000.
It sounds pretty simple. It doesn't seem too complex. Yeah, it doesn't seem too complex. I just putting everything into place and into play. I guess it's not hard at all.
Now let me ask you something, right? Prior to you getting on here, right, and you saying that you wanted to hit $4,000, and before you actually saw the breakdown of the numbers, right? How on a scale from 1 to 10, what was the difficulty level that you actually thought it would be to make $4,000 prior to you seeing this?
Because of my mindset and the fact that I've been writing down $4,000 for the past month and a half, I didn't see it as that impossible, because it's been something that I've been telling myself for the last since January. I mean, July the 1st, actually, when I started visual. That was my number I started with. So it wasn't as difficult, I guess, for me, because that's a vision that I've already painted for myself.
Okay, cool. So now that you've seen the numbers, right, and you understand that, now that you've been seeing it visually as well, plus a strategy that we have behind how we get our members to upsell, right, that we have systems in place in Power Quantum, how doable do you see it for you to actually make $4,000 within the next 90 days?
Very doable. I actually see more than 4,000 looking at it like this, but yeah.
Wow. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you can see this, that you can actually do more, right? We actually have systems in place, and here's what I want to let you know, Marlo, is that normally when the members who get into Power Quantum, the likelihood of them upselling to the inner circle is always very likely, right? So meaning that when you get somebody in here, right, we teach you the system and you plug them into the system that we have. What happens is that member is more likely to upgrade into the inner circle, very likely for them to do that, meaning that you're going to build your residual on the $25 level, and you're also going to build your residual on the $100 level, and that's going to be every single month that they're going to be paying you that. That's why you just need to get the inner circle, because it's simple. Your bill can get covered easily, but what's even more important is the stuff that you're going to learn on there. Okay? So real quick, Marlo, what I want to let you know is 3 things why getting all in is really important. Right? The first thing is because I want you to imagine a bus, like a big yellow bus. You're on this bus and you're driving this bus, okay? And as you're driving this bus, you're passing these people, and the expression on the people's face is like, this guy's crazy. This guy's driving with one wheel, and the bus is kind of tilted, and then it's scraping on the floor, and it's like little sparks are flying everywhere. There's one guy ready to call the cops on you because you just look like a maniac driving that bus, right? Now, let me paint another scenario. You're driving that bus, except that this time, instead of having one wheel, you have all 4 wheels, and you're driving smooth. And all of a sudden, people like the direction that you're going in, and they kind of stop you. You stop the bus, and all of these people get on your bus, and you drive off into the destination that you're planning on going. Now, the reason why I say that is because an Empower Network, like my wife said, it's a buffet. You get to pick and choose what you want to learn, right? It's like what you want to learn. And, based on your personality and based on the things that we've used to get to the level we're at, these are the courses that we recommend. These are the core products that are going to help you become an awesome marketer, right? To market your business, to start getting signups and to start creating sales, right? And the reason why I say it's a bus is because what happens is that people will start gravitating towards you, Marlo. I kid you not. Right, with their credit cards in their hands, ready to sign up with you because of the confidence that's transferring to them. And your confidence is going to be coming from being competent in a skill set that you will learn here, right? And by you choosing to do that, all of a sudden what used to be difficult getting signups is going to become very simple, right? Because people are just going to naturally want to join you because of your confidence in your aura and because of your presence that you bring, and that comes from understanding the skill sets that you're going to be receiving here. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So it's really cool stuff. I mean, I still don't understand, like, because, like, you know, I have like a sister-in-law, and, you know, I always like play around with her. You know, she sees me like this dummy, right? And, you know, every time I tell her, like, I'm doing a coaching strategy with somebody, she kind of laughs. She's like, who's going to listen to you? And I laugh because I'm like, wow, that's so funny, because she has no idea what I actually have learned in the process of these months, and the information and the knowledge and the results that we've gotten in our business, right? But it just goes to show that if I can do it, Marlo, right, you can certainly do this, right? And I promise you that you will develop more confidence, because now you're going to learn a skill set that's going to allow you to create income. Like, I mean, just like that, you know? So so that's the first reason why you should get all in. The second reason is because of team duplication. You know, one of the things that I didn't mention is about the inner circle. The reason why you should activate that right away is because as you're bringing people into the system, if you choose to do that, what's going to happen is that it's going to serve as a self-mechanism. It's going to be a tool that's going to feed your team. What do I mean by that? Well, there's two ways that you can approach this, right? You can either, every time John gets depressed or whatever, you know, one of your team members might have gotten depressed, right? That's why they're not doing anything. You know, you can either call them up and say, hey, John, I know you're depressed, man. I believe in you. Look, this is going to work, man. Just keep believing. Just keep visualizing, man. Just keep reading the books I'm reading, and I'll talk to you later, man. And then you have to call Suzanne. You know, she's a little depressed too. You got to call Carlos. You got to call Sandy. You got to call Tony, right? And you're finding yourself trying to pump your team. So what? So they don't quit, right? But why not plug them into a system or an inner circle vault of audios that's going to build them up, that's going to help them grow, and it's going to help them develop a marketing mindset, right? By you choosing to do that, now you don't have to pump and motivate anybody up, right? You can use this tool to help people grow, which allows you to be in multiple places. It just allows you to just grow, right? It allows you more freedom and allows you to move rather than being with one person trying to motivate them and another person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool stuff. The second reason is, like I said, it's for your team duplication. It's going to help them become a producer. And now you're not going to be like scratching your head like, hey, Marlowe, how do you, you know, how do I get traffic to my business? You know, you're like, oh, just did you watch the Costa Rica? And they're like, no. Well, why don't you just get it, because it's going to teach you how to do that in there. Oh, okay, cool, Marlowe. I'm just going to get it then. Right? The third reason why you should get all in is very simple, right? What happens, Marlo, is that if you decide to plug people into the system, your team members, for every course that you don't own, it's going to get passed. Let's say that you bring somebody, right? What's going to happen is that the inner circle, although you brought them because you don't own it, right? What's going to happen is that that's going to get passed up to us. And we don't mind taking the $100, but we'd rather you take it. Right, and you're going to get an email saying, congratulations, Marlo, you lost $100, right? And the same thing with the Costa Rica. Congratulations, Marlo, you lost $500. Congratulations, Marlo, you lost $1,000. Congratulations, Marlo, you lost $3,000. Now, I only lost commissions once, and it sucked, okay? Good thing it was never with the big products. It was with the inner circle. I lost it once, and I was like, frick, I didn't even realize that it was not activated. So I went and activated it, but I lost it by that time, right? But that's what's going to happen. So those three reasons: one, because of the skill set; two, because your team can become producers because they can learn the same thing you're learning as a marketer. Don't try to be don't try to hog it from everybody. Share it, right? And the third reason is because you're going to miss out on a lot of commissions if you decide to do it that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is the last thing here, right? So you saw how simple it is to make $4,000. You just need one person to get all in. But here's the deal, right? All of this is an investment of $5,000, right? And when we got started, this is a big-ass number, right? Not a lot of people have $5,000 in their bank account just chilling, which goes to show if they don't, they should just decide to get in so they can stop living that way, because they now can create income by learning this stuff, okay? But you know, that didn't stop us, and it shouldn't stop anybody. It shouldn't stop you as well, because one of the questions that my wife asked you earlier on is that if you needed to come up with $10,000 in 7 days, you would, right? You remember saying that?
Yes, sir.
Right, so it's not even $5,000. I'm sorry, it's not even $10,000. It's $5,000, right? And even though right now you might not be in the best terms with your wife, here's what I want to let you know. You know, the reason why my wife decided to jump on board when I was doing this, the reason why she decided to support me, is because a lot of people won't do what I did, which is simply doing this. Going up to her and saying, babe, I'm going to make this work. And you just look at her intensely, right? And what happens is that the only reason why your spouse or the only reason why somebody would have a problem you investing that much money is because you're not going to come out with that type of confidence saying that you're going to make this happen. You know, if you go up to your wife and you're like, hey baby, there's this course and it's like $5,000. Can I invest in it? Hell no. She's going to look at you and say, dude, no, you're not going to invest in that, right? But when you're confident, you say, I'm going to make this happen, you know, and you look at her, there shouldn't be a problem, right? Because confidence is what they're looking for, right? It's not when you say like a weenie, they're just gonna look at you and say, dude, you're not spending $5,000 on anything, right? Well, anyways, you're not even spending $5,000 because for an opportunity, right? Here's what's happening right now, right? You can actually get all of this for even less than that. You can actually get this for $2,997, and that includes the BBS, the Costa Rica, and the 15K and the Masters. Now, you can get all of this for less than what the master's course would actually cost, Marlowe. Now, I do need to let you know something, that this discount is not going to be here forever, meaning that you have to act quickly on it, right? So we kind of pre-frame you so you can understand the importance in this, right? So what's happening here is that this discount, you'll lose out on it forever, and it's not false marketing because I think that when you log into your Empower Network back office, there's going to be a timer on top. It's going to say like get all in bundle or whatever, and there's going to be a timer ticking. That's not false marketing. When that timer hits 0, you will lose out on that discount forever, and it's going to go back up. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So here's what I want to let you know, Marlowe. You know, back when I was 19 years old, I was driving an Acura TL. I thought I was really cool. I got a phone call from my wife, which at the time I was just dating her. She calls me and she's like, hey, babe. I was like, hey, what's up? She's like, I have such exciting news. I did this. I did that. I'm talking to this guy. I'm developing connections. I'm developing this. And I'm going to create this project. And I'm like, holy crap, you know, my mind. And she looks at me and she says, hey, I need to ask you something. And I'm like, what? She's like, are you serious or are you not? Because if you're not serious, I don't think that it's a good idea for you to be with me, because where I'm going in life is going to be big things. And I was like, holy crap, no one, you know, I was like, wow, this woman is really strong. And I was like, holy crap, you know, I started sweating a little bit. I was like, no, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to be with you. And she's like, no, serious. I need to let you know that if you're not committed, it ends here, because if you're not committed, I'm telling you right now, the journey with me is going to be tough. Because I'm doing big things, and big things sometimes can get people uncomfortable, right? So she's like, all right, so just, and I was like, yeah, you know what, babe, let me call you back, and I'm gonna let you know. So what did I do? Like a lot of men do, I kind of ran away, and you know, it took me 3 days to come up with a decision, right? But in the process, let me take you through my thought pattern. I started thinking, and I said, holy crap, the woman of my dreams is standing right in front of me. She's like right here in front of me. And because I'm a little intimidated, I'm a little afraid, right? I'm choosing to not make a decision because of what? Because I'm afraid, the fear of unknown, the fear of not knowing what's going to happen, the fear of having to get a little uncomfortable and stretching and becoming a little taller than I am. And I closed my eyes and I said, okay, how would my life look like if I just don't make this decision? And I snapped out of it quickly because I was like, hell no, I'm not missing out on this. And then I closed my eyes and I said, how would my life look like if I made the decision and I decided to stick it out with her? Closed my eyes. And I almost didn't want to open my eyes up because I wanted to stay stuck in there. Because what I saw was me growing. What I saw is me being with her. What I saw is us doing bigger and better things than I could have ever done with any other lady. And I said, holy crap. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to grow. I'm just going to get uncomfortable because what I want is right in front of my face. And the only reason why I'm not going to make a decision is because I'm afraid. The only reason why I'm not going to make a decision is because I'm going to buy my excuses. Hell no, right? So what I end up doing is luckily, I'm telling you, I could have lost her because I ended up calling her 3 days later. She didn't pick up. She didn't text me or anything like that, but somehow I got a hold of her, and she did not want anything to do with me. She was really pissed off at me because she saw how long it took me to make a decision, and I almost lost out on her forever, right? Very similar to what's happening here, right? you have that ability, you have that opportunity to be able to do that, right? And all money is, Marlo, is an idea, right? So if you can create ideas, you can create money, right? And not too long ago, I didn't believe that I can create or raise capital, and I was able to do that in 72 hours. I raised over $3,000, and if I can do it, anyone can do it, right? But either way, I do understand everybody's not in the same predicament, right? If it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg, and you're gonna have to do some weird stuff, obviously, I'm not telling you to do that. But what I am telling you is to
I'm not gonna sell my body.
exactly, right? Yep. It's so funny. Hey, man, you do buy salads, man. I'm sure that you have a pretty sexy body. So, no. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is to stretch, right? To stretch because eventually you want to be able to just live your life in a way where you see something and you can just pull out your credit card and buy it. You shouldn't have to ever go through a phase where you have to hustle. You only have to hustle sometimes when you don't have the money in the bank, so you have to do some weird stuff, right? But this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is the opportunity. This is your ability to get all of this for less than what the masters is. And in the process of you making the decision, you have no idea what you're really making a decision to. What I mean by that is the same decision that I made when I was 20 years old to get in for $125. If I would have known that I would have gotten saved, if I would have known I would have gotten a wife, if I would have known I would have gotten my black belt, if I would have known how to run a business because I would have developed the skill sets, right? If I would have known all that, I would have realized that for $125, I was stealing it away. I was robbing it. I was taking it away for less, it was way more than that, right? And I just made that decision, and because of that, it opened me up to so many things. So I have no idea, but I do know by you making this decision, it's opening you up to a new realm of possibilities, a new realm of opportunities, a new realm that you deserve. So my next question to you, Marlo, before we get off here now, because let me just pop in here, is what's the likelihood of you actually getting all in, right? And before you answer that question, Marlo, I want to let you know something. How you answer it, it's not going to change my perspective on you. I'm not gonna like not talk to you ever again, right? I'm not gonna start acting weird. So I just want you to be honest, right? I want you to be honest with yourself, right? I want you to be honest with where you are right now. I want you to be honest with what you really want, and then I want you to give me an answer based on that.
Well, where I'm at right now, financially, I'm just not starting to try to figure out how to create some revenue to do some things because I've been without too long, and it doesn't feel good at all to have to act. 'Cause I'm going to Texas next month for Vitality, and I just literally told my wife that she's gonna pay for it, and her response was, "If I do pay for it, this will be the last time you go take a trip to be hugged up with a bunch of women and all that stuff." Yeah, that type of thing. So I'm like I said, I just had to close my bank. Well, they closed my bank account yesterday. They no longer allowed me to continue to overdraft. So I am creating some magic to do a few things to make some money and putting myself out there. And actually, some of the things that you've been speaking about are some of the things I've already kind of been doing, and things have picked up for me. So it just makes sense to kind of go into get more detail on how to do it better, and I guess that's exactly what you guys are offering is an opportunity to learn how to do it better, because the whole blogging and stuff like that was something that I just looked into and trying to figure out how to utilize what the blogging system that I already have. I guess if I did that expeditiously real quick, I probably could create a few dollars real soon here. So,
okay. So, okay, cool. So I do want to let you know that it's I'm not sure how much time you have. I think you have like maybe 6 days, right? And what I want to let you know is there's this is at no type of way to influence you to change your decision on whatever you're going to make a decision on. Just to let you know, just to be aware of, right? Which is only two things that you can invest in this life, right? It's either money, right, or time, right? And right now, you have to ask yourself, the situation you're in now, which one of those things do you have? Do you really have a lot of time? Right? And if you don't have much time, then I would suggest, my advice would be for you to figure out a way to get all in. And if you're fine with sacrificing all of your time and you're fine with trying to figure this out on your own and you're fine with understanding what capture pages and funnel and developing process and all that stuff and developing how to email market and develop how to do follow-ups and develop all this weird stuff, right, that you have to understand that requires a skill set, requires training, requires education, and doesn't happen overnight, then my suggestion is to just come up with the money to invest into that. And if it's not, then if you have a lot, if you feel as if you have a lot of time, then go ahead and approach it by that decision, right? So I guess that's my way of saying you make the decision that you believe it will best suit you right now at this moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Either way, you still got to activate the inner circle. You're not off the hook, right? So go ahead and do that, man. And my wife is actually back on here, so now she's going to get on here. She's going to just tell you the step-by-step process. She's going to email you. It's going to take like 2 minutes, and then we are going to be done, okay?
Okay.
All right, man. Let me
Awesome. Cool, Marlowe. So I'm going to send you an email. It's going to have all your steps that you need to start taking action on, like step 1, step 2, step 3, simple things like that. In there is going to include getting the inner circle because some of the stuff you can't do until you have it, and it's really important, okay? That's pretty much it, man. Every Wednesday we have trainings, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday nights when you have the inner circle, we have little conference calls that we do. And
still do the text or like yesterday I got a text message before whatever started. What do you guys do? An email, or how do you guys do it?
Yeah, we do text, we do email. So just keep a lookout, and then there's also little blogs that we'll throw out there on the newsfeed of Empower. So you'll see some stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome, man. So look for that email and then just get started right away. You have that training video that where you had the personality test and all that stuff. If you finish through that, it's going to help you start creating certain systems that you need in place to start generating leads.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Flash. No, I'm just kidding.
Where you learn that? You can see that? Yeah, that's actually a short story about that. I started a photography business maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, and I became Mr. Flashing Lights. Well, recently, during the Visalis thing, I started to contact people, and I would call them, and it was like, hi, this is Marlowe. And they would say, who? And no one knew my name. Everybody knew Mr. Flashing Lights. So I was getting agitated. So I changed my name on Facebook, which also started a stir because everybody knows me as Mr. Flashing Lights. Because I've took probably everyone in my community's picture at one point, time or another during a photography thing, party or whatever. So changing my name to Marlowe D. Whitlow, which is my name, which I want to be known by, it was also a big thing. But yeah, Mr. Flashing Lights. When you said that, I was like, how did she know that? But yeah, I still have I still have that.
You're like basically branding yourself, and you like branding.
Like the power couple. No one knows us as Ballo and Cassandra.
Yeah.
They know us as the power couple.
And that's something that when my upline actually mentioned to me, he was like, you're branded as Mr. Flashing Lights. Everybody knows Mr. Flashing Lights, and for you to change it was stupid. Because I actually, before I changed it to my real name, I changed it to Mr. Dub, the motivator, but it was a spelling error. It was supposed to say M-Dub, which is my initials, Marlowe Whitlow, and the whole spelling, you can't change your name on Facebook but once, and once I did it, it was stuck, so I had to literally submit my identification to Facebook to change my name to Marlowe.
Wow.
So it was kind of crazy because I had Mr. Dub, the motivator, and that just sounded stupid. My upline was like, what did you do that for? It didn't sound right. It's stupid. So.
That's funny, man. Well, Mr. Flash, you're
awesome. Flashing Lights.
Flashing Lights, Mr. Flashing Lights. I got you, man.
Mr. Flashing Lights.
So we'll talk more, man.
Okay, looks like a tornado outside right now.
Stay safe then.
Okay, you guys take care. Thanks for all your time.
All
yes,
right.
man. Thank you. We appreciate you.
All right.